This is the Town of Lake Park, Florida special call commission meeting today for Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. The time is now 6:34 p.m. Can we please have the clerk take the roll call?
Commissioner Linden? Here. Commissioner O'Rourke?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas?
Present.
Vice Mayor Hensley?
Present.
Mayor Mashad?
Here, and still here. Can we all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, no, she's confused me when she said vice mayor. Not on commission. Yes.
All right, please be seated. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. If there are any modifications that need to be made, please say so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
Clarification.
Yes, sir. Commissioner O'Rourke.
Are we on a, is this the commission meeting?
We are doing the regular commission meeting first.
Okay, very good.
After that, we will do the CRA.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
I do have comment with regard to the agenda.
Okay.
I notice 20 items on the consent agenda. That's not an appropriate way to do an agenda. I would ask that we move items seven and 8 onto new business because they both require a second before approval of a board member. That's not possibly, you can't possibly do that through consent. It requires a second for the nomination.
There would be a second on consent.
Who does the second?
Whoever cares to do so.
But that consent means we agree to everything on consent.
Which would include those two appointments. I mean, if you want to pull it, we can pull it. I was just stating.
I'm trying to get you to understand. You can't put that on consent because it requires an action beyond just approving.
Okay.
Do you agree with that or not? No.
Well, your statement was it requires a second.
A second for the nomination, not for, if you read it.
Well, that's fine. Then we'll pull it up. We'll pull it. You asked for it to be
Okay,
pulled. They'll be pulled and placed in the...
I'm asking, this is agenda motion. I'm
Okay.
asking that 7 and 8 be moved to new business.
Okay. So let
Thank
it be
you.
for the record. 7 and 8 will be pulled from the consent and
If it's voted on by the board, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I have other things too, though.
Not a problem. The
But
floor is yours.
we'll leave it for that. Those are the two items I was concerned about that
Okay.
require.
Are there any other items?
Yes.
From Commissioner Thomas.
Yes, I'd like to pull 13, 14, 17, and 19.
13, 14, 17,
And
and
19.
19 will all be pulled from consent.
Clarification? Are we talking about the agenda or are we talking about consent right now?
We're talking about consent right now because you pulled 2 items from consent, and Commissioner Thomas is asked to pull 4 other items.
Okay, then I have other items to pull from consent if we're doing it that way.
Let it ride.
Okay. I would pull 11, 12, and you already pulled 17?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. We'll leave it at that. 11 and 12. The others have been pulled. Thank you.
Okay. Are you good, Commissioner Thomas? Yes. Are we good over here? Okay. Okay, so I will restate for the record, items number 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 19 have all been pulled from consent. Now we require a motion for the remaining items that are actually a motion for the approval of the agenda as it stands.
I make a motion to approve the agenda, moving 7 and 8 to new items and pulling 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 19.
Okay. Do we have a second? We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The approval agenda passes unanimously. Next, we have a resolution accepting the certified election results. I believe we move this to, does anybody have, we're just going to approve it? No statement made.
I make a motion to approve the election results.
Second.
Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The approval of the election results passes unanimously. Next, we have the swearing in. Yes. All right. You don't raise your right hand. I raise Actually, you know what? Raise your right hand.
Yeah, the reality is she should raise her right hand.
Go ahead. You can raise it. Yes, ma'am. I state your name. You said repeat after you. I, Roger Machad, citizen of the state of Florida and the United States of America, and a resident of the town of Lake Park, Florida, having been elected to the office of mayor and being a recipient of public funds as such elected official, do hereby solemnly swear or affirm that I am entitled to hold office under the Constitution, that I will faithfully perform all of the duties of the office that I'm about to enter, and that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States, of the state of Florida, and of the town of Lake Park, Florida. Do I say something or I sign first? I'm signing my life away right now. Sign, seal, deliver. Thank you. I guess normally I would be emotional at this point. I am because certain people are here. But I want to talk about not me right now. I want to talk about the people. I want to talk about everybody that's here tonight that fills me whole. And what I mean by that is my family, my friends, my colleagues that I work with, my colleagues that I work with here. You all mean so much to me because not only that you've helped me be a better person for myself, but grow in spirit, grow professionally, and grow to where I am proud to be standing here, and I should have been the one to be standing here, and you guys in the town of Lake Park made it happen for me. So I want to thank you guys. I'm not going to sit here and give you a generic speech. I belong here. I'm just going to say it simply put. I belong here in that chair. Why I say that? Because I have the heart to handle everything. I have the strength to handle the good, the bad, the indifferent, and I have the caringness and patience to handle listening to people, listening to what they have to say, conveying it into an ideal, and then executing. I feel I am that man for that position at this time, at this place, and I'm proud to be that guy. I'm proud to be your mayor, and I hope the next few years you will not be disappointed whether you did vote for me or you didn't vote for me, because no matter what, you're my boss nonetheless. And I'm saying that to all the people that are watching. I'm going to be the best mayor you can have because I have the best commission that I can work with. And I just want to say I'm very happy to work with the four of you. You and I started from the very beginning of my tenure, and you've been very advisable to me. I've worked with each of you in different times, and I'm very happy to be with you guys. And sometimes a little bit of constant is good, because the alternative, well, is different. And right now we are constant, we are whole, we respect each other, we work good with each other, and I'm very happy you're still here with me. I hope you don't go away anytime soon. But like I said, constant is good. We are constant. And I just want to say that for you guys. But most importantly, I want to say to you right here, you're everything to me. Yes. Everything. From day one, you two are the reason why I'm here. Because I felt like there's children in this community that needs us to give them every kind of service they can. And you two are the ones that made me work this hard to get here. And you're the one that brought me here. I have no idea why, but it was meant to be. Yes, God made it happen. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that later. But I want to thank you for being the one to bring this young 10-year-old here to this town, helping him grow, and helping him get to this point in my life. And you have me unconditionally forever. To my colleagues, my friends, my mother over there, she's been there for me as well from day one. Nothing more to say to you than I'm blessed to have you in my life. All my colleagues, you know who you are. Solidarity forever. When I say brotherhood, there's nothing more you can say. I could be across the country and you call me, I'm here. That's what good friendship is. And when I say you make me whole, you make me whole. Because there are days where my mind could be in a different place, but you guys seem to center me, and I'm very appreciative for you for that. And I could go on and on, but I won't. I just want to say I am very happy to be your mayor. I'm very proud to be your mayor, and I am here for you 100% as a public servant, because that's what I've been able to do from day one, being a volunteer here as a Kiwanis Club member, as a commissioner, and now as your mayor. And I'm very happy to make this town move, and we're going to make it move even better than it is today. So thank you all, and that will be it for my speech. Thank you. And one more person, Ralph, you're my brother, regardless of what anybody says. All right. That's your cowboy fit right there.
Here we go. Here we go. Look at me. Congratulations.
The First Lady of the town is request.
Congratulations.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
your wife has requested that I get a picture of the whole commission together.
Okay. I guess she wants. Come on.
Get up.
Come on.
Bro.
Yeah, we just love to have the pictures together. Even the town attorney.
All right.
He was trying to make love.
And you. Cowboys still suck, huh? Just man.
get on to business.
All right.
Remember, you got to use the word intervene tonight.
That's quite.
Okay. So, thanks again to everybody that came for the swearing in. If you'd like to stay for the rest of the meeting, please have a seat. If not,
Do we have to?
all right.
I got no sound here. I got nothing going on.
Okay. Thank you.
It's really soft.
Okay. All right. Okay, I see where we are now. Okay. Next on our agenda is the swearing in for the mayor, which we just did. And then now the selection of a vice mayor. Are we correct? Okay, so of course, every election, we do swear in a vice mayor. And, I'm sorry? Select. No, I did say select. I thought I did select. I apologize if it sounded like elect. Select a vice mayor.
I move to nominate Michael Hensley as our vice mayor.
Okay, we have a nomination. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Our selection of the vice mayor is voted unanimously. Congratulations again, Vice Mayor Hensley. Okay, we have nothing under special presentation and report. So next we have public comment. I do have public comment cards. I have 3 of them, right? Do we have any more? Okay, we will go ahead with this. The first on our public comment is Kelly Steele.
Hello, congratulations, Mayor Mashad, and also Commissioners, Kelly Steele, 301 Lakeshore Drive. And I did want to bring up tonight, it is getting that time of year, it is spring, and I am hoping that we can schedule another community cleanup. I know we need to find a good date that maybe works for everyone, but we did one last fall, and I was driving around 10th Street. Literally, I dropped a vehicle off. I decided I was going to walk home. I'm like, if I only would have brought a garbage bag, and literally I looked down and found one in a garbage pile. So I started picking up garbage. There is so much garbage still around Lake Park. So I would love to see if we do possibly have some money in the budget to just, again, support a lunch afterwards and possibly find a date in early May, because April seems to be really, really busy around here. So the goal would be to get 100 people to the cleanup, and I did start working on some marketing that we can target, trying to get the businesses to engage with us, also the school, and then also try and get the condos, so we can try again and bring the community together. So just as we go out and support each other, I think if we can also really focus on trying to get more kids and more families engaged in the Lake Park community cleanup, that we teach kids to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So I'm hoping that we can try and meet and see if we do have the budget just to try and do a lunch for our volunteers. And I did reach out to Nature's Way Cafe just to kind of get a feel for if they were interested. I know in the past we've had Chick-fil-A, we've had Churrasco Grill do a hot dog truck, but trying to also support local to encourage our residents to to buy local, support local. So I'm hoping maybe we can try and team up with Nature's Way Cafe, and they are interested. So I'd love to talk more about doing the spring community cleanup. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dennis Clark.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Good seat.
Good seeing you as well.
I'm Dennis Clark, 254 Greenbrier Drive, Lake Park, Florida. I'm here to talk about what the Palm Beach Sheriff's Department don't want you to do. They don't want you to call them up and report things that you may see. They don't want you to call them up when someone is blocking your neighbor's driveway. They don't want you to call them up when there's loud music playing and a bunch of commotion going on at 12 midnight on a Friday. So no, they don't want you to call them up, because if you do, then the sheriff's deputy who comes out, he says, I don't want any trouble out of you. So what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to call them up. So if I see something, I'm not going to say anything. If you're not welcome for us to call and complain and file a complaint, then fine. Then we won't call you. Thank you.
Thank you. Dorothy Taylor.
Good evening. Dorothy Taylor, 236 Cypress Drive. I'm just here to congratulate our mayor on his re-election. It's obvious that we're very happy with his leadership, excuse me, and I look forward to that continuing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all the public comment cards I have for this meeting. Next, we have the remaining items on consent, and I will entertain a motion for that.
Before we do, Your Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I like that though. Your Honor is good. We can keep going that way.
Court, I'm sorry.
That's not a bad name though. I must admit.
I wanted to ask if we could add an item to, which one was it?
An item to pull again?
Yeah, I wanted to pull one other item that I didn't ask for. And it is, where is it? I'm sorry. Number 11.
We did pull it. That was pulled on the original approval of the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is that it?
That's it, thank you.
All right. Any other requests? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to move on approving the consent items that's left. Item 10, 15, 16, 18, 20.
4, 5, 6.
Just the items on consent.
Oh, just item on the consent. Okay.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Consent passes unanimously. I will go ahead before we go into, we'll go into I have nothing on ordinance on first reading, neither ordinance on second reading. So I'm going to leave 7 and 8 to new business. We will start on the items that were pulled with number 11, Resolution 200326, Community Beautification Improvement Fund, CBIF, grant for $15,000 for Mr. Earl K. Williams at 705 West Jasmine Drive. I believe this was an item you pulled. Commissioner O'Rourke?
I'm just, I'm wondering what we're doing here with regard to the beautification fund, where the funding comes from, and what are more importantly, I think we need to establish better criteria for why people are allowed or why they would be, if they apply for this fund, why they are allowed to do that under the criteria. I'm not sure what the criteria is. It seems to me, after reading it, that it looked like there was issues. When there's issues with regard to code violations, that this is a way for people to apply to the town to, if they don't have funds to get approval, to get do the improvements that are required for code violations, that they can apply to this. And that's my understanding is what's going on. But I'm wondering if we've established criteria written criteria that we can look at when we look at approving these grants.
You want, let me let Nadia.
I don't know who that would be.
Nadia, I'm going to let you go ahead
Thank
and put some clearance to this.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Nadia DiTomaso, Community Development Director. The Community Beautification Improvement Grant Program was created back in 1999. Of course, the application has been revised since. However, the basic criteria has generally remained the same. There is a 20% set aside of all code fines that the town receives to give back to the community in terms of beautification. One of the criteria is that there would need to be some form of code violation, whether it has been already documented or it is a clear violation of the town code or the Florida Building Code that would need to be identified. Once that violation is identified, the property owners in the town have the ability to apply for the community beautification improvement funds, for which, again, 20% of all code fines received are set aside into this fund. And there are some main criteria. One criteria is that they do have to meet the income guideline requirements. We do use the Palm Beach County income limits that do come out every year, and there are different brackets of incomes. And so we ask for 2 copies of the property owner's most recent tax returns. If they don't file tax returns and they get Social Security benefits, of course, we receive copies of those Social Security benefit statements as well. And depending on where they lie income-wise, they do fall within one of the Palm Beach County income limit brackets, and that would qualify them for anywhere from 25%, 50%, 75%, 100% reimbursement on the work that they're applying for. So again, the first criteria is there needs to be a clear code violation. The second criteria is they need to fall within one of the income brackets. And then the third criteria, of course, is they need to supply 3 written quotes that identify the costs for the work that needs to be done. And then we review those quotes, we review them for consistency, we review them for, to make sure that the work that the contractor is proposing will adequately resolve the code violation once it's completed. And then, of course, we typically pick the lowest bid, assuming that all of the estimates are equal and equivalent to a certain degree. For this particular application, Mr. Williams is elderly. He does not file taxes. He just received some minimal Social Security income, which, of course, we received and verified. Because of his income bracket, he's eligible for 100% reimbursement. So we don't pay the money outright. They do need to follow the whole permitting process. The contractor has to submit for the permit. They have to complete all of the work, and they do have to get a passed final inspection before we do reimburse the money. And in this particular case, as I mentioned, it would be the full amount for Mr. Williams.
Okay. Vice Mayor, you wanted to add something?
You want, go ahead.
I just wanted to, I'm sorry, if I may follow up with just one question.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. The funds for this
Yes.
for this grant, are they coming out of the funds that we set aside for driveways?
Yes, so we have the $100,000 for the driveways, and then we have a larger amount that we've taken in over time. And let me just go back to, I know I asked the finance department for that amount. It was over $300,000 that we've collected over time. And then there is the $100,000 that was a set aside for the driveways as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Vice Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with Commissioner O'Rourke about we're kind of playing the game as behind the ball. So I've actually been trying to work with the town manager and Merrill, where there is hopefully by next budget season that we can come up with a program that does not beautification of Lake Park that does not allow you to be until a fine. So if a person, stipulations still being worked out, I know a couple of towns that does it already, could get some kind of beautification if they want to upgrade their homes to make their homes look good. and it would actually help Lake Park even look better. I just don't think, like you should be, all right, you're fine. We're behind the 8 ball here on that one. So I think coming up with this new plan will be a great way to be incentivized of people upgrading their homes and yards, making it look a lot nicer.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we're trying to get grants and different other things for that too. That's why we brought Mary along.
Yes, Tom
Sorry,
Manager.
if I can intervene real quick. I just wanted to say also, and that is a program that we are working on, but I also wanted to say thank you to Commissioner Linden. He was involved in this item and worked closely with Ms. DiTomaso, who I want to say thank you to as well. This is a resident that is in need of this funding, and that's why we brought it to you. And Commissioner, your heart was really shown through this whole process, and Nadia the same. It's a gentleman that I believe was he a veteran as well? I'm sorry, I can't recall, but he just, this is what the funds I think are meant to be for. And so I just want to say thank you to you both for your hard work in trying to help the gentleman.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Linden, for doing that. And just want to say thank you for that first before. Commissioner Linden, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Town Manager. Yes, Mr. Williams did reach out to me, and this has nothing to do with code violations, nothing, all right? And he's here tonight, and the issue is it's all about a roof. It's bad, and leaking in, and some gutter issues. Again, I heard code violations, and that doesn't even come into play. And part of the beautification improvement is to make our town look better. And I'll just let it go at that for right now. And when a resident comes to me, or any one of us, with an issue, we go above and beyond trying to help them out. That's what it's all about. And I've had numerous discussions, and so that's why it's in front of us tonight, to help out a local resident. Been here since 1985, I think it is. And the way our process is currently written, he has to put the money out himself. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nadia. And then we will reimburse during the period of when the construction company is finished.
Correct. Yes, with a past final inspection.
Yeah. Unlike a matching grant or a grant for a business where sometimes we don't get the money back, this is a local resident.
Town Manager.
I'm sorry, one more thing, going back to the Vice Mayor's comment, and I know that there have been others as well, and Commissioner Thomas is Mayor, you'd see, but Commissioner or Vice Mayor, the plan is hopefully to be bringing, concept of a plan to you guys before we get into the budget process, so that you guys can, give us some direction to, based on some of the other communities that you mentioned and you've brought to us as well. So thank you for your help with that. Thank you. We appreciate you on that. So, and thanks to the others that have also appreciate you all.
Okay. Any other questions for staff? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Wait, I'm sorry, I have a question.
Okay. I just asked that.
So was there a code violation here or not?
Once the roof was inspected, it was determined that it was in violation.
Okay,
There isn't
thank
a
you.
documented violation.
I wanted to know.
Correct.
Okay.
Well,
If
let's clarify that up, all right? Because once the roof was reported as leaking, then it became a code violation. This was done prior to avoid a code violation. I don't appreciate the fact that we're trying to twist this into a code violation This was after the effect, not before the. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was just asking, the property was not cited, is what you're saying?
It was
Donna?
not.
Okay. So it was not cited for a code violation. It was in violation because it didn't meet the minimum code standards.
Correct.
Okay.
Commissioner O'Rourke.
So the only concern I have is, first of all, I want to approve this. I'm not discussing this for that purpose. I asked about the criteria of it. If we have an established criteria, we can't go against that. You can't, because once you start going against criteria or the established process, then everybody's going to be able to come in and say, and you'll have Bert Harris actions all over the place.
Yeah, familiar
So
with
that's my concern. I have no objection. I intend to vote for this. I just wanted to know if it fit the criteria that was required. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. And I also am in concert with Vice Mayor Hensley about creating something in the future that will better be suited and also carry a criteria that's solid footing for future proposals. So,
We're kind of discussing, do we have a motion yet?
yes, absolutely.
Did we make the motion?
No, we didn't.
Okay,
at
move
all.
to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any other further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 12, Resolution 210326.
Hey, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Earl's here. He made a special trip up. He doesn't drive.
Actually, you know what? Thank you for saying that, and I absolutely.
Love to hear from him.
Mr. Williams, please. Would you like to say something?
Earl, come on up to the microphone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. of
Please, take your time. Take your
that.
time.
Yeah. No rush. Take your time. Actually, even better, we'll bring the mic to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Earl Williams, and I came to the United States in 1960, and I got my permit, my visa, 1967, and I've been a citizen since 1978, and I work all over the country, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Florida here. And I've been a resident in Lake Park for 45 years. And I purchased a house on 705 Jasmine in 1980. And I've been in Lake Park ever since. And I'm lucky to meet Commissioner and his wife. And they are a very sweet person. And I enjoy everybody here tonight. And I usually come to the meeting on Wednesday night, but fortunately I get sickly and don't drive no more, and I don't have too many people to take me around after certain hours. But I make it to another one here, if I'm able. The last one that I've been here for, was when we're doing the marina, doing the construction on the marina. That was my last visit here. So thank you all for what you're all doing for me. Thank you very much.
And thank you, sir, for giving us some words. And we appreciate you for being here tonight. And we hope everything works out as well. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have Resolution 210326, canceling the regular commission meeting for April 1st, 2026. Town Manager, you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, this is the first night of Passover, so the request was to, because we have this meeting, which is so close to the first, it just would make sense to potentially cancel it so that we don't impose on the Jewish holiday.
Okay. Do we have any questions?
I asked to pull it, so I'm going to comment.
Okay.
I'm not in favor of going to one meeting per month, and that's my concern. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 210326, cancel the regular commission meeting for April 1st, 2026.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you. We could move the meeting to the following week.
Okay, so
That's my comment.
that would make it, just to look at the calendar.
I believe it
That
would be
would, you don't have to. That was just a suggestion.
Understood, but I still would like to look at it first before I make my own thoughts to it. That would be the 8th,
I'm free.
but the question. So
And
you
then we
have,
have a meeting the
right, you would,
following
that would make back-to-back weeks.
That's-
So it would be the 8th and the 15th. That's back-to-back meetings.
That's back-to-back meetings.
Correct.
But
Unless you move the 15th. But I would have to come back at another meeting to approve that. Vice Mayor.
I do hear your about moving to one meeting a month, but we did have April will be the only month that we had one meeting because we had 2 meetings in March. So and if we move it to the end of April, then we'll have back-to-back meetings again. So honestly, this one probably I don't understand the holiday. You know, this would probably be better for us to probably have one this month and try to play catch up on in May, but. Because if not, we're going to have back-to-back meetings, which is fine with me, but are we going to be able to get the agendas and everyone to get the items on?
Okay, so just to clarify, the way the scenario can go is we can move it to the 8th, have a meeting on the 8th and the 15th, or come back again, go ahead and vote tonight for the 8th, and then come back again at a later meeting to move the 15th a week back.
Mayor, my concern is not so much that we're missing a meeting. In April, as you said, there's holidays in there. I get it. April may be the month to do it. I just don't think, I think we need 2 meetings per month, and that was my main point.
Correct, hence why I said we could come back and move the 15th to give that space in between like we normally do in our regular months. But what is the desire of the commission?
I hear, yeah, sorry.
Absolutely. Vice
I
Mayor.
hear Commissioner Roy a point, but I think we just probably should just keep it this month, unfortunately, to one, because we got a lot going on in April and holidays. So the 15th.
Commissioner Linden.
Thank you, Mayor. I will most likely not be here on the 22nd. I'll be coming back off of a trip up north. So there's a 50-50 shot that I won't be here on the 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
right
taking
now-
the train. So
All right, so right now we already have a motion and a second for canceling the meeting. We've had our discussion, so I'm going to go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 13, Resolution 220326, slant front load dumpsters and accessories, RFQ number 107-2026, for an iron container LLC at $15,675. Mr. Morales, you're
Good
up.
afternoon, Commissioners. Mayor, congratulations on your selections. And everybody here, good afternoon again. Jamie Morales, representing Public Works.
Okay. I believe it was you, Commissioner
No,
Thomas?
it was me, actually.
Commissioner Thomas, correct. You may begin.
Yeah. Sanitation trucks, stormwater trucks have been a concern for our town for a while, right? And one of the things that concerns me is ensuring that as we're moving into this new fiscal year, that one, the timing and scheduling of the trucks that are necessary are moving forward consistently. And then, if my memory serves me correctly, I know that we had trucks that were pending. One, based on the fact that there was some supply issues that were related to COVID. And then I believe there were some issues that were related to financing, how we were going to be financing the truck, or reduction in interest rates. So I know that as we move through the budget process, that this is one of those concerns that I really want to put on the record as we discuss, major capital purchases like this. And so therefore, my thoughts here is to make the public aware where we are with sanitation vehicles, because there's also one too that I believe I've pulled, and I do want to elaborate on that. But for our residents to understand, when we're spending these dollars and when we have to rent vehicles or lease vehicles because of funding or lack of, waiting for trucks to come, that it's actually costing us, a considerable amount. Now, with this particular truck, as I looked at the agenda item, we were only a difference of about $2,500. The differences between Ironclad, I think it was, and the other iron container, and the other one was, I guess, Waste Quip. What actually is the difference? We tend to go for the lowest bidder, and I don't necessarily know if always the lowest bidder is the best. But in this case, since we're really only about $2,500 difference, was there something that was being provided more for that $17,000 as opposed to what we're getting with this $15,000? Were there more of an upgrade? Was there a better equipment? So just elaborate a little bit for me.
So this, let's say vendor that we selected, I believe is more of a local, and we've worked with them in the past. This is part of the replacement schedules that we have for every single year. We've already identified how many dumpsters we need to replace. At one point, we were doing refurbishment, which we're going to look into again as the market starts to stabilize a little bit better. Because last year we did a comparison and refurbishing them was higher than buying new ones. So then we decided to go with new ones as we did this year. But as we go forward, we'll always look at both alternatives to determine which one is the more feasible and which one is the best interest to the town to move forward with. So these are part of those dumpster 2 and 4 cubic yards that we already have scheduled to replace. To provide services to the community, as well as the 96, which is the next one, which is the carts.
Okay. And that, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so we have the dumpster that I know, and then you said the 96-gallon cart. We could just talk about that in unison right here, correct? Yeah. Okay. So with that, those were the two capital purchases that we were looking at as far as sanitation.
Well, those are just regular, the dumpster, the boxes that we use to dump. So those are more like, we could determine like consumables instead of more capital. Okay. Because we bundle them all up and they become a major capital, right? Because we're buying, over here we're buying 30 units. But if you quantify them by unit, I don't believe they meet the threshold of a capital asset. There's more as a bundle, because it's more of a utility, or we say a commodity.
Okay. What's the useful life for those? What are we looking at?
It could vary from 5 to 7 or even 3 years, depending. Since we're close to the coast and they're metal, they tend to get rusty, and then if we impact them or so that's where they start getting a little bit of rust. Sometimes refurbishing them, it's a good idea and strategy. But again, it all depends on the type of repairs that they have to do and the cost of the material and metals and Well, it varies.
These are brand-new vehicles.
These are not vehicles.
I mean,
these are dumpsters.
The dumpsters.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
well, the one that we're talking about now is the dumpster, and the other one that we're talking was the front loader.
No, but those, no. Okay. So these two action items, which is 12 and 13 and 14.
14.
I apologize. These are just regular metal where we dump our garbage.
Okay.
It's not equipment. Those
Okay,
are not
okay,
equipment, yeah. No.
okay, good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because that was a little confusing to me as I looked at the dumpster accessories. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No further.
How many have we replaced so far?
Since I've been here, this is the second year, and I believe they had done it prior years where they were doing the refurbishment.
And are we using all of them currently?
Yeah, we use them constantly.
Okay.
Or either they get damaged or they get this, and we replace them.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious about it. Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Linden?
Yeah, I got a little confused here. Are we talking about 13 and 14 together?
I started talking 13, and then I parlayed to 14 because it was pretty much the same type of accessory that we were referring to.
13, we've been through this before about repairing those, and I understand, don't totally agree with that, but when we get down to 14, the 96-gallon carts, all of us that live in town know that that's the garbage cans that we put out, right? And I don't know why, I don't mind having a few extra, stolen, broken, run over, whatever, but for minor repairs, there's only 2 moving parts on that cart. You got the wheels and the lid. And if we can't fix that ourselves, we've got mechanics that are down periodically. If they can't take 2 screws out and put a new lid on, we got a problem. And to take the wheels off, that's even just as simple. So on 14 with the 96-gallon carts, how many carts are you looking to replace?
I have to look into agenda, but I could provide you that information. I don't have it by heart, Commissioner.
I'm sorry, I talk a little close. I didn't hear what you said.
I don't know a number by heart, but if you allow me, I'll get the agenda and I'll give you the precise number because the agenda does identify the quantity. I don't know it by heart.
All right. We got sold down this road once before. We agreed we needed to get rid of the little ones and get the big ones, and everybody ended up being in favor of that. But then there came the cost of shipping those carts. They were almost as much, if not more, to ship those carts from the manufacturer to us. Do you know what the shipping cost is for the number? Well, you don't know what the number is.
That's correct. You got the correct answer. I could provide you that information, but I don't know it by heart right now.
All right. Well, again, without knowing numbers, you know, I can't see that. Not at all. You know. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor.
I got a question for Jamie, and maybe the town manager can help me out with this. Was this in the budget? So this has been bought to us because it's over $10,000? All right.
So this has already been allocated for in the budget
We
and,
go,
and earmarked from the last budget cycle that we all approved and sat here and talked about. Okay.
And
Vice
just to,
Mayor?
just to piggyback off that a little bit, we might need to probably talk about that $10,000 threshold too, because, I mean, that really probably need to be talked about.
The consignment threshold? Right, it's got to get approval.
I think what he's stating is he'd like to make an agenda request for a later date to have that discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm great. I'm
Town
okay
man-
with the. I'm all right with that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Town manager, you had any?
Yeah, a couple of things. It's 200 units that we're purchasing, so I found that on the agenda item, so you don't have to look. So, and then the town clerk has, one of the items since I've been here, and she's worked really, really hard with all the staff to look at various sections of our code, of our of our town code, and one of the sections is the procurement policy. So we will be bringing that shortly. Our staff has worked really, really hard at reviewing our procurement policy, our purchasing code, and looking to update that so we have more updated purchasing policies to be able to purchase quicker and, and more appropriately than what our current code provides. So we'll be bringing that at a point in the future.
Okay.
So.
Any other questions for Ms. Morales?
No, I don't have any.
Any questions outside of Commissioner Thomas? Thank you, Ms. Morales, for clarification.
Welcome.
I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve items 13 and 14 that were on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, items 13 and 14 passes 4-1. We will now move over to item number 17, Resolution 260326, Lease Purchase Finance Agreement 2026 MAC T64R Sanitation Truck with Heli Front End Loader from TD Bank at $376,065. Mr. Morales, you're up here again, along with Barbara Gould as well.
Mr. Mayor, I'll take it real quickly.
Okay.
This is just a cleanup item. You guys have already approved. You've already approved the item to go forward with TD Bank back on February 4th. The resolution at that time had KS Bank, State Bank on it. To go forward with the financing, we had to have it clear that it was with TD Bank. So that's what this is doing, is removing the financing with Kansas State Bank or KS Bank, State Bank, and making it with TD Bank. And if you recall, we were going forward with KS State Bank because that was advocated by the vendor. We then checked with our local banks, and we got a much better rate with a local bank. So once we make this basically housekeeping item change, we can then clear up our financing and then be able to purchase a front-end loader that Jamie would then be able to get in service right away. So this is more of a housekeeping item.
Okay, Commissioner Rourke, I know you.
I pulled the item, and the only reason why I pulled it was not for the, we all understand what it is. This item does not belong on consent. It belongs on old business. That was all my only objection, and that was my only comment. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Do we have any other questions for either staff, town manager? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
And we're getting a better interest rate on this.
Yes, I believe it's cut in half.
Right.
To 3%.
It's
3%.
Yeah, it's close. It's around 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
3.5 to 2, I think.
And what they're allowing us to do is, because Jamie has another truck that's out that we're waiting on. Remember, there were 2 trucks that he was waiting on. They're prepared to go forward with that same interest rate. And we'll bring it back to you for that financing on that. But they're prepared to go forward with that same interest rate on that second truck. And then there's another truck out there we'll talk to you guys another day about. But the financing is essentially ready to go.
Well, I want to make sure those trucks are out and moving.
Well, that's why we're trying, and this will help with do that in the future.
How soon will that be mobilized?
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
The keys are ready for us to take it over.
Okay.
So it's local and it's here. We're waiting.
It's been here since December.
All right, let's vote.
Let's go. It's been here since December.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Housekeeping.
We have a motion in a second?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? Seeing none. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Resolution passes unanimously.
So with that, thank you, Barbara. Pamela's waiting for the paperwork tomorrow morning.
Okay. That was item number 17. Just a clarification. Item 17. Okay. Thank you. Item number 19, emergency equipment rental, front end loader, sanitation collection vehicle, big truck rentals for $11,500 at $9,100 per month. Mr. Morales, how you doing again? I think it was, again,
me.
it was you, Commissioner Thomas, that pulled it. You may begin.
Yeah. My concern here, of course, is the rental per month for, for the truck. Is this one of those, the purpose for renting this is because we're without a truck, or because a truck went down and we didn't have a backup? What's...
Okay, so this is a front loader that we're asking to rent because we have 3 current front loaders, which is 70, 44, and 56. 44 is the one that's going to be replaced with the unit that we're waiting right now. We approved today, and we're going to move forward. 70 is the newest of all, but we've been putting too much stress on it. And then 56 is the one that we should change coming in this new cycle. So that one's already scheduled to be replaced. Currently, 70 is out, where we have it in Nextran. They're doing the assessment to repair. 44 is in repair, and 56 is the one that we currently have that is giving challenges, and right now is down, and the team is replacing some hose internally to see if we could have it functional. And this truck is the one that we brought in to provide us support in order to supply the services needed to the commercial section of our business.
How many functionally truck do we have for this? Because
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Yeah.
because
so to give you,
it almost seemed as though you got a truck that have, 3 flats, and one that's working. So
to give you the honest answer,
Yes.
right now, the rental is the only one that we have working.
and it's costing us $10,000. Well, $11,000 a month.
Well, it's 9,100 plus the 11 was the transportation to bring it down to the town.
So it's $11,000.
Yeah, it's 2,500 plus the 9,100 per month.
Okay, and that's per month, correct?
That's per month.
Okay, so
I think the town manager, you had something to add, or you wanted to finish your question?
so if I was
Go
to
ahead.
multiply that, so let's see the cost, right, of what we're leasing this per month times the overall purchase.
Exactly.
You want me to stop?
No,
Yeah.
continue, please.
Yeah, right? So we're almost, if I, just to try to do the calculations in my head, that's a third of the cost that we're leasing this vehicle as opposed to outright just purchasing it and giving us a useful life of about 7 years. Because if I was to multiply that per year, that's 108, and a typical vehicle is costing us about $350, right? So this is where, this is no reflection on you, Mr. Morales, in any way, right? It's just a matter of how long is it taking us to get these vehicles, right? To making sure that we get these vehicles and they're here and they're being utilized and we're not having to spend money on emergencies, because that's really the concern. And then we end up, in my mind, having to buy 2 trucks for the price of, 2 trucks because one is sick, the other one is doing an overload because the other one is sick, and by the time we're all done, we need to purchase 2 more trucks.
So, just to give you a synopsis, right now we are building a vision on our fleet and trying to develop strategies that we don't only budget for them as in the long run future. We're now starting to look at the life cycle of the equipment and trying to accommodate, right, within the future years, the necessary funds available for when that time comes to replace that equipment, then we have the money available to proceed to that purchase. That will allow us to be more strategic in how we replace our equipment,
Correct.
but be sustainable at the same time. Right now, I have to be honest, we are just trying to put out fires because we have old equipment. And as we move forward, that is our vision. But I can't stand here and tell you or tell the commissioners that we're doing this exactly how it should be done, because no, we're trying to correct everything that we have right now. We're looking at our entire fleet, say, this is what we have, this is what we need, this is what we can get right now. It is challenging because there are certain elements that we have to take in consideration, which is the market, what Richard just mentioned, that we reached out to local financial institutions and we got a better deal. But having that better deal, then we have to gather all our internal information in order to be able to obtain that financial instrument to get the equipment. But then we rely on the industry of the equipment, the manufacturers, which they also tell you there is a waiting time, there is a period. So all those elements we don't control, but we have to provide the services to our community because that's what they expect. Sometimes I feel bad that I have to come here because I believe that maybe the board or the commission thinks that I'm just presenting excuses. It's not excuses, it's the reality. We're trying to do our best. Yeah. It's going to take time in order to see the product of what we want.
I do appreciate that, and no at all do I take what it is that is being done for granted. I also appreciate the fact, too, that since I've been sitting on this commission, that we've actually programmed for our vehicles based on funds that we have collected, i.e. through stormwater as well as through sanitation. It's just a little frustrating, I would imagine, when we look at it overall, that there is like a delay, and then if there is a delay, then it just causes more of a challenge, as you say, because of the limitations on the vehicles. Then, of course, as we look around, how that impacts our community, too, of how it looks, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to make sure that the garbage is picked up and that the shrub and landscaping also are removed out of the, off property. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner O'Rourke.
Yeah, thank you. Jamie, I have a calculator, and I'm going to give you the numbers. It would take about 42 months if we paid $9,100 per month to get a new vehicle. And so that's really where the commissioner is, and I'm on that question too. It's very frustrating for us. If we're going to be paying for a rental, why can't we get it new? And I understand that the issues, so do some magic, all right? Thank you.
Town manager.
Yeah, that just real quickly, again, you guys did approve a CIP in this year's budget that, Jamie identified a number of vehicles over the next 4 to 5 years of replacement. We're starting a program where we start to pre-fund those using some of our reserve dollars so that when we do need these trucks, we're not hit with these huge numbers, right up front. But up front, there are some financing requirements that we're going to have to do to be able to buy these trucks. So again, there's one truck that you purchased tonight. So it was a front-end loader, just like this vehicle. So this will allow us to get a second vehicle out there and have that out there, so we don't have to have the rental as long. So we're not looking to keep this hopefully for a long period of time. That's not the goal. It's to get us through, the challenges of getting another front-end loader fixed. So we have that out there. But we will be coming back to you with that second vehicle that was purchased a while ago, or authorized. It's been in the budget year after year waiting for the manufacturer to complete it. There is a third vehicle out there, my understanding, that Jamie may have available to come back to you to purchase that will help with this as well. It's a vehicle that is later on in our CIP schedule to be financed, or then there's another vehicle that we were going to do the pay as you, the prepayment. So we will come back to you. We have a plan. Jamie's just, and I appreciate it, and I know you guys, where you guys are at, and Jamie is just struggling through, to get through this, and but we have a plan now that we have the financing in place. If we can get that third vehicle, that'll make a big difference in our fleet and our service levels and our productivity as we go forward. So, and as we find out more about that third vehicle, we'll bring that back to you and let you know.
I just want to make sure what we do have gets mobilized, right? Okay. Okay.
And if I could, Mr. Mayor, I want to say thank you to Barbara with this whole financing thing. She's really worked hard. She, came in this a little, later in the process on it because we went with the other, the other option, and she really worked hard at it. So Barbara, thank you. Appreciate that. So,
Okay.
and that savings was about $30,000 to the town.
Thank you. Commissioner Linden.
Thank you. Front loaders are primarily used for dumpsters to pick it up, correct?
That's correct.
I know the schedule that we're on is residential. How often are the front loaders utilized in the town? Do we run them daily?
We use them daily. We have to do commercials, commissioners.
So we have enough commercial with dumpsters that we run a truck daily?
We have 2 units that go out daily to do commercials, and then we have some for residential.
Jamie, Mr. Can I just ask?
Please.
So Jamie, when you're going out, it's because each business has different pickup days, or they might have one pickup day, one business might have 3 pickup days. So it's all different for all businesses. So that's why we're running every day.
Every day.
So
That's
it's
correct.
all different based on their volume of garbage.
That's
So
correct.
basically the scheduling requires it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure I clarified that for you.
Thank you. Have we looked at sending this out to supplementing that to a different company, having them come in and do just the dumpsters?
The last time we did that, it cost us almost $1 million with waste management.
Well, all right, now let's put that into perspective, because that was because it was an emergency purchase, and we were on a contract with them, and it was 2 years ago, if not 3, and it made no sense that we spent that kind of money. And I don't obviously want to see that again, but are there companies out there that specialize just in picking up dumpsters and front loaders?
I can't tell you they're specialized just in that, but I know they're specialized to providing services such as that. But I can't tell you they're specialized on that only. They provide front and side loaders as well. But yes, they are private companies that do provide those services, Commissioner.
All right, because at that kind of rental per month, like a couple of the other commissioners, that's paying for a truck, and we can't get into what was or wasn't done in the past. So, all right, I'm done. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? No. Okay. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve item number 19 under the consent agenda.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
The item passes 4-1. Okay, prior to, we have nothing on ordinance on first reading, nothing on ordinance on second reading. Prior to going to item number 21 on new business, we're going to go back to item number 7, reappointment to the library board for Mr. Shelby Lowe. And this was the motion. No, I understand, but the motion initially was made by Commissioner Linden.
What?
For Shelby Lowe's appointment to the library board.
Mayor?
Commissioner O'Rourke, you did pull it. You may
Yes.
begin.
I pulled this because, again, there's procedures we have to do, and I'm being very meticulous tonight, and I'm going through the procedures. The procedures on a board appointment require that someone nominates, as you did for, I believe, both Shelby and John. And then when we come to the meeting, then there's supposed to be another person that seconds that nomination. That's the process. That's the only reason why I had it pulled. I have no objection to either one of these people, so I'm looking for that process to occur. That's all. And so would someone like to do a nomination for Mr. Shelby Lowe for the
Actually, I'd
library?
like to ask a question first, if you don't mind. Town attorney, if we had it on consent, these items, and somebody seconded consent, would that act in the same manner if those two items were separated out of consent?
Well, that second is to approve the
The nomination, right?
consent agenda. So I think Commissioner O'Rourke is correct.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. So in the future, we'll try to keep those items outside of consent and keep them that way and under new business. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Did we make a motion yet?
No.
Okay.
I think what we need to do is get someone to second nominate.
Okay. So we do have two motions. We need a second.
I second.
That's
Okay.
the second on the nomination.
On the nomination.
Okay, now we can make a motion to approve.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be
I
very.
understand. You're being meticulous and you want to make sure
like it.
everything is good procedurally. I get it.
So
So-
now we have two nominations.
We're doing it one at a time.
Yes, we're on
One at a
Shelby
time.
and the library.
So we will work first with the library board for Mr. Shelby Lowe.
Yes. So
We
he's
have-
been nominated and seconded.
Seconded.
So we can call for the vote?
Okay, and no other questions or, comments or anything like that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Mr. Shelby Lowe passes unanimously, who is reappointed to the library board. Next, we have the reappointment for P and Z board for Mr. John Buchel. It was,
Mayor, may I? I will be the second nomination for Mr. Buccelli.
okay. We have a first and a second. Any other comments?
I just want to say that I had the pleasure, of course, of serving with Mr. Buckley while I was on the Planning and Zoning Board, and it's just nice to see that he's still there and still desires to volunteer for our town.
Okay, absolutely. Any other comments?
And I totally agree with that. He's a good guy, real good guy.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, Mr.
Thank
John Bucco is reappointed to the P and Z board. All right, next we have on the new business, item number 21, designate a voting delegate and alternate for the Palm Beach County League of Cities. I believe this person would be acting in the meetings to make motions or second, as we've done in the past. I believe Commissioner Linden, you were a voting delegate before. As so you, Commissioner Rourke. So is there anybody that wishes to make a motion and nomination for a voting delegate? Town Manager, you wanted to add something?
Could I bring you guys up to speed on just a couple quick things?
Sure.
First of all, today, the mayor was also nominated and voted to also serve on the local league board of directors. So
And
just
Florida.
to keep you guys in the loop on that, this is, maybe as a suggestion, we don't always have all of you attend. Maybe there's a way that you all are either nominated and alternates, so that way we always have someone.
I think you have a,
I'll do that? Oh, well then forget it.
okay.
I
Thank
tried.
you, Town Clerk.
I
Town
wanted to
Clerk,
make
I will
sure
go ahead and.
You guys didn't have to feel like you had to be there.
Understood. That's what we have a delegate and an alternate. We can make it work however we can.
Can you fix this?
And thank you for letting them know about the nomination. So, also on the Florida board as well. Do we have anybody that wishes to be the voting delegate? or can nominate.
Who, do we have a voting delegate from last term?
Yes, the vice mayor.
Yep. I think the vice mayor was the voting delegate, and I believe
Are-
Commissioner Linden,
He
you
was
were
the
the
alternate.
You were the alternate? or-
Alternate, right.
Yeah. Would you like to
Is there any
remain as?
objection to serving in that capacity again?
Well, no. I would consider an alternate, but in order to fulfill that commitment, you have to be at the league meetings early in the morning to help set up and get everything done, so forth. So, no, I would decline that at this point.
To be a voting
Be an
delegate?
alternate?
To be an alternate or a
To be an
delegate?
alternate, yeah, I just decline that altogether.
If I can, Mayor, Vice Mayor, I'm going to address this question to you. I know I can't do this. My job has become burdensome to me during the daytime hours, and I know you're very busy with yours too. Would you,
Actually, I can fix this all in one shot. I'm on the board, so I'm usually there anyway. I will go ahead and make myself the voting delegate. All I need is an alternate.
can you do that?
I can't nominate myself, but I'm offering myself as the voting delegate.
He's the voting delegate. We still need an alternate.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Who would like to be the alternate?
Vice Mayor, can you do that? You have a big job, so you can afford to leave.
Wow.
Whatever you need me to do. I'm the little man on campus.
Okay, so would somebody like to make the motion for this to happen?
So I'll make a motion for the voting delegate to be our Mayor Mashad, and the alternate voting delegate for the Palm Beach League of Cities to be our Vice Mayor, Michael Hensley.
Okay, do we have a second?
I would volunteer to second both of them.
Okay, we have a first and a second. I don't think there's going to be any further discussion, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to say, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The motion passes unanimously. And thank you, everybody, for your support. Okay. Town attorney comments.
Thank you, Mayor. Just need to comment that we responded to both of the lawsuits by on the Sunshine Law and also on Forest by filing answers, which we're required to do. So the next step in that process looks like there's a motion. We filed a motion to transfer. There's a local rule that requires you to transfer a related case to the first case that was filed. So we're moving to transfer. We've moved to transfer the Sunshine Law case to the same judge that has the Forest case, which is should be just a perfunctory kind of motion. And that's it.
Okay, thank you for the update.
I have a question. Did we not go through mediation for the first?
We did go to mediation. We weren't able to reach an agreement.
Okay.
So that led to the filing of the answer.
Okay, thank you again for that. Town manager.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, congratulations. Mr. Vice Mayor, congratulations. Wanted just to give you a couple of items. I don't know if you all had a chance to listen to the league update, the post-legislative update. If you haven't, it's recorded.
Yep.
Really, really thorough, comprehensive. Give you a quick it's about an hour long, maybe a little bit longer, but it's really good update on what happened during the session. A couple things of particular of importance. The ADU item was not approved by the legislature, so there's no requirement at the state level to include ADUs. So we'll look at that, and I know that's an interest to you all, in our community. So Nadia will be taking a look at that and bringing that back if as available. Senate Bill 180, the various bills that were proposed, the Senate moved forward with it. The House did not approve it, so there's no change to Senate Bill 180. Of course, we're still involved in the lawsuit side of it, but with regards to Senate Bill 180, we cannot make any changes that are restrictive to our code until I believe it's October of 2027. Is that correct, Nadia? October 2027, I believe, or June. It's 2027. And then all the property tax bills, there were none that advanced. However, there's expected to be another session, as well as a session to pass the budget. They didn't even approve a budget up there.
Yeah, I think the special session is in
The
relation
end of
to the budget.
April or middle of April or something.
Yeah.
So, we have a number of items that were in the budget. We had the Oval about, we had our grants for the wastewater. So, hopefully these items, stay in and they can come to terms and the governor will approve. But it was a crazy session. And I want to say thank you to, Senator Bernard and Representative Edmonds. They just are fantastic in representing our needs and are always available to us. Also, Merrill, thanks for your help with the appropriations. Appreciate it. So, and of course, thank you to the commission for working so hard to try and push items that help us here in the town. At our next meeting in April, we're looking to bring forward to you guys an update of where we are on our capital improvement projects. So we'll do a presentation. If it's not that meeting, it'll be the meeting after. But we want you guys to kind of get a sense of where we are in this year's budget with the funding that you've approved and how we're progressing forward with that. At a later date, we'll come back with the full CIP for next year to be considered. That'll be included in your budget process. And the staff has been working really hard at that with Barbara and being really comprehensive and detailed so that we have a plan going forward. We talked about that on the sanitation side. We're looking to do this comprehensively throughout our organization, so we identify those assets, those capital assets, so that we're prepared to purchase in advance of needing them. One of the other things that was brought up, and Commissioner Thomas, you brought it up about capitalization of our items. One of the things that we don't have is a capital asset policy. And that's something that Barbara will be working on, as well as an investment policy, a budgetary policy, a fixed asset policy, a federal procurement policy, and of course our regular procurement policy. Those are all areas that we need to bring to you all so that we have direction and policy direction going forward on those areas. So we'll be looking forward to doing that soon. You guys approved the or saw the budget calendar in tonight's agenda. One of the things that was asked is if we can try and do some of our budget workshops a little earlier so that we can try and get through some of those sooner. If you remember last year, and every year we have the league conference kind of right in the middle there.
Yeah.
But we were able to kind of fit in some dates, 3 workshops, before and after the conference to try and be able to be more prepared, and going forward with the presentation of where we are in the budget so that we don't get into September, hopefully, with that. But we have the availability to go into September if we need to. So again, I appreciate the hard work of our staff in getting that together. Commissioner Thomas, I know that this was of interest to you, and it's of interest to the entire commission, but there was a request for noticing or improved noticing to our community with regards to new developments that are happening, particularly, also making sure that there's posting property signs and also, different types of developments or levels of development, being able to make sure that, if it's the local neighborhood, more than just the local neighborhood or the entire community based on the type of development. So the attorney and Nadia have been working together, and staff in Nadia's office. So we'll be bringing that to you guys here shortly, as well as the education board information soon as well. And we can't just say dogs in parks. I tried, because there are cats and pigs and all of this kind of stuff. So it's, what is it? It's domesticated animals will be allowed to be on leashes in our, so we'll be bringing that forward as well here shortly. So
We need to have that.
that's coming forward. So
It's become a kind of a running joke.
yeah, and Jamie's already working on the dog pots, you know, so we have the bags and things like that, so we're prepared when we do complete that ordinance. A couple items that are coming up. Reed has the sunset celebration this Friday, 6 p.m. Larry Johnson's Essence of Motown. They were there last year. They're a really, really good group. So they'll be down at Kelsey Park. The month later, we're doing it in the downtown area. So the sunset celebration will be moved in April to the downtown area, so we can try and promote some foot traffic.
As a trial period.
We'll do one there and see how it goes.
Okay.
And then we have the splash pad workshop on March 28th, Saturday, so that we can get feedback from the community on what they would like to see in that project. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in Town Hall. So residents will be asked again to review and give feedback on the initial conceptual designs. We have our Easter extravaganza at the Kelsey Park on Saturday, April 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Of course, there'll be egg hunts for children's 3 to 10, free photos with the Easter Bunny, children's activities, raffles, and so much more. Great event. You guys should have the agenda in the weekly update from this past week, and we'll make sure it's in your weekly update going forward. So if you have any questions, please let either myself or Reunity know, and we'll be able to help you with that. Proclamation for National Arbor Day. Are you guys good with going forward with that? Direction to go forward with that?
Yeah.
Okay. We also have Good Friday coming up on April 3rd, so Town Hall and our town offices will be closed. We'll put all the notices out as we normally do. The holiday schedule for residential special pickup will take place on April 2nd instead of the 3rd, and there'll be no residential collection on Good Friday on April 3rd. Commercial will be picked up as normal. And that's what I got. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioner comment?
Oh, I did have one other thing.
Sure, go ahead.
One of our employees, well, two things. We had an excellent first quarterly employee recognition meeting. And I think I brought this up at the last meeting, but I just wanted to say it again. Thank you, Commissioner Hensley, for being there. It was really, really, really great. I appreciate you guys funding that in the budget. We had staff that helped, with some things as well, and I appreciate them as well in helping to do that. But this is really an opportunity to help with our staff. We were able to recognize Mary Ann for her 50 years in front of her peers, and that was really, really special to her. So I wanted to say thank you for that. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner comments. I'll start on my right with Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you. Last meeting, we just had, on consent, we had the minutes approved, and in the minutes, I'm going to bring up a point. The town attorney raised an issue with regard to a lawsuit that was brought against us on the sunshine law violations. That comment was moved to a motion and a vote. It was not noticed, and it put me in a position where I'm now coming back and asking if we can do this a different way. And Mr. Baird, I think that with regard to lawsuits that are being brought, especially when it regards me personally and other commissioners personally, those should be handled. You advised us that we could do those, look at those issues in an executive session. I have no objection to doing that, as long as we follow the rules of the sunshine. Of course, as we know now, record those those meetings for some other later date. The reason why I bring it up is because the vote was basically to allow us to go to arbitration. And now I'm making these questions in open session, where I'm wondering if this lawsuit brought by one of our town residents removes commissioners from the lawsuit, what is to stop another person from coming and doing the same thing?
And another plaintiff can file suit if they believe that another citizen can file suit.
Right. So that was my point. So
yeah.
I was thinking in the executive session we could talk about that and say, well, what's the point of going to arbitration with that lawsuit? But I understand what you've done now. You combine them, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, as a procedural way to deal with that, and maybe we could talk among ourselves ahead of time so we know what the consequences would be. Because just by having one person remove us from a lawsuit doesn't shield us from any liability toward anyone else coming and bringing the same action against us, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Then that's it on that. I wanted to talk about the Burt Bostrom Park. We have a process now where anytime we do things, we hire a consultant, and then we bring everybody in, and we're going to talk about how we're going to do this. The latest one is this Saturday. We have a meeting on the splash pad. And so what you get is you get people who come in and the loudest voices tell you what we're going to do. It's not a good process. I've always been against that process. We need to do more leadership and establish a process where we can say, this is what we want to do, and then invite the public and say, and I'm going to give you an example of it. I'm going to use Burt Bostrom as the example. We don't need walk-around paths at Burt Bostrom Park. You know what we need in Burt Bostrom Park, and you all know it. We need fields. We need 2 soccer fields, 2 fields that are there that wouldn't cost us. It would cost us the same amount of money as we're paying on a consultant to just lay down the fields, and we can get volunteers. I've already been working on it to try to get people to volunteer to create a youth program here to let our kids come and play in these parks in an organized fashion. So that's my last comment on that. I just wanted to mention that. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention was that not only is this an important day for this commission because we've re-elected our mayor, and I'm very proud of you for that. And as you know, if we argue, that's not a personal thing. I've known you a long time, Roger, from the days you were in Kiwanis, right? Going back to there.
Yep.
And that was a long time ago. That was when, it was a real long time ago, before you had a gray beard, by the way.
I didn't start getting that till I got here. No pun intended. I'm just kidding.
We have to start working together. I know I represent a position in this town that is not, I would not consider from what I've heard from people, a majority position. Today, there was another significant event that happened in our town. It was the largest acknowledgement of revenue sources for this town's, in the history of this town. And that was the ribbon cutting at Nautilus 220. No one attended. That's not right. We should have had people there. We should have had at least commissioners there. We didn't have to participate in the ribbon cutting, but these people are now our residents. They live there. And to shun them the way we did because there's a disagreement, there's a lawsuit. The lawsuit was not with Nautilus. You, Mayor, you called out Peter Batarian and said, get this done by the end of the year, and he did. And now that revenue is going to come into existence. It includes $1.7 million for this town. It also includes $1.7 million for our school district. The funds that come as a result of this project are significant to this town, and for us not to acknowledge that was a mistake. And those are my comments, and you can agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. I've made my comments.
I won't disagree or agree. I will just say be careful when you forecast numbers before they come.
Spoken as someone from the property appraiser's office, yes.
I'm just
I was using...
I wouldn't put a number to anything until the property appraiser or the agencies that do the work to bring that value up bring the numbers to our attention as a municipality.
Understood. The numbers I used came from Noel, from the Northern Chamber of Commerce, so I'm using those as his numbers.
I know. I just,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Want to protect you as well.
I don't need protection. Thank you.
You never know. So,
anyway,
any other comments,
thank you,
sir?
everybody.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
Pass.
Pass. Commissioner Linden.
Oh, thank you. And congratulations again to both of you. So, well done. Janet was nice enough to send out a clip on Robert's Rules of Order.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't looked at it yet, you need to. We make numerous errors here on what we do, myself included. It's 1 hour long. You can watch it. And I would also suggest to the town manager that all of our boards review it also, because they're under the same area, if you would, under Robert's Rules. It's not the most entertaining, all right, but when you look at it, you're going to reflect back and say, yeah, I understand I did that, I shouldn't do that. So it's going to make us look a whole lot more professional sitting up here. But all I got.
Okay. Vice Mayor.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm going to say this before we get in our last meeting. I hope everybody have a great Passover and a happy Easter, because I won't have a comment for the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you for that. I want to say, once again, it's very happy to be here amongst my fellow colleagues here on the dais. Commissioner Linden, I do agree with you. I think we all should look at that video. I'm glad that staff has set that up for us. Thank you to Janet for doing that for us. Greatly appreciate your professionalism and getting us educated, as well as clarity in terms of our scheduling. So just want to let you know that you are appreciated, as well as the rest of the staff, of course. Again, once again, I'll just say again to the voters, thank you for coming out to vote, to make your voices heard. We really appreciate that. No matter who you voted for, it doesn't matter about that. It matters more that you came out to vote. We want you to be out there. Your voices matter. Your voices count. Your voices speak to the way this town moves. And it shows the way you want. So again, I am the one sitting here, but really I'm the one that was chosen. And that's the more important thing, that it was the voters that spoke and no others. So thank you for that. An agenda item I'd like to add, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun, with respect to those ADUs, is the ADUs. I'd like that to come on a future agenda. And I know we've done workshop after workshop after workshop about it. I don't really think a workshop is needed at this point. I think we've exhausted all that in the past several years. This thing has been kicked down the road too long. It needs to come to fruition. It needs to come to construction. It needs to be set and placed in our ordinance. So I'd like that to be something more in the near future. For
I believe Nadia's ready to go with it. We were just waiting till the end of the session to see if we would get preempted, but we can bring that.
Okay. I'm sorry? Okay, no problem. And aside from that, we are back after this election, back together, but the work's not done. There's a lot going on that we have on our pipeline that we have to address, but we're going to do things as we did, as I stated a couple meetings ago, together. I don't wish for this town at all to get divided, whether it be residents amongst each other, residents with us here in the dais, or us here in the dais amongst each other. We are one town, we are one unified front, and I want us to stay that way. I respect you all as colleagues. I respect you all as partners in getting this town moved. It's obvious that we all were chosen to be on this dais, and we have to get this town moving together, but at the same time, we have to listen to those that put us here, because they are the most important ingredient of the community, and that's how I feel. So let's get this going. Let's address all these items that we have coming up, and let's do it again together. With that, that's all I have. I know Commissioner Thomas, you had one more thing you wanted to add.
Actually, I wanted to just piggyback on the ADUs. One of the concerns that have always been is parking, okay? Parking,
Yes.
parking. So I would like to see that when it does come back to us, that we are addressing rental rooms, because it's a huge issue as relates to parking and how that is going to impact the residents. We are in a community where majority of everyone here works. So that means that there's shared housing. Shared housing meaning there's a number of vehicles that are on site as well as on street. And so when we look at ADUs, we really want to look at the overall impact of parking, because we're going to have to do something about that. And I just want to make that we pay close attention to that, so that parking issues is equitable, and that it is, and that we address it, because also having on-site parking all night on both sides of the roads is a concern, because that's a safety hazard as well. So
That was a big thing the public had stated in the workshops.
yes, and
Parking was their biggest concern.
and that in itself has created the challenge or the reservation moving forward, because do we want to compound an issue that we currently have as it relates to parking? And it's problematic, and especially for properties that don't have visibility, and they're corner lots where people have to drive in the middle of the road, or because there's parking on both sides of the residence. So we really want to address it.
And just to add a little tidbit, during the time I was canvassing the community, that was something that they brought up that they were interested in. So there are interested residents in the ADUs, and when we will make that to come to fruition. Okay. So, okay. All right. With that, any other requests for future agenda items? Okay. If not, I'll take a motion of adjournment. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Aye.
All right, so we will move on to the, no, we're going to take a 5 or no? Well, we're going to move straight into it? Let's move straight into it. All right. This is the Town of Lake Park, Florida Special Call Community Redevelopment Agency meeting for Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. The time is now 8:30 p.m. Can we have the clerk take the roll call?
Board Member Linden.
Here.
Board Member O'Rourke. O'Rourke.
Aye.
O'Rourke.
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry, I was
Somewhat.
throwing candy at him.
Board Member Thomas.
Distracted by a Reese's.
Board Member Thomas.
Present.
Vice Chair Hensley.
Present.
Chair Mashad.
Here. We will skip the Pledge of Allegiance. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. If there are any modifications to make, please say so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion. We are on the CRA agenda.
I make a motion to move.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The approval agenda passes. Next on the special presentation report, we have a presentation and update on the downtown Lake Park Plan marketing activities and programs. And we have Ms. Allison Justice, who will be here as a part of this presentation. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ms. Justice.
Good evening. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got the clicker. I do. I wanted to just take a few minutes and talk about some of the programs and the items we've been working on for downtown. And this is kind of both the town and the CRA jointly here. So I'm giving the presentation, but it also has something, it also includes activities that the town are thinking about taking on downtown. So we want to just kind of go through some of the things we're working on. One being is events to activate downtown. And I know you all have spoken at one point or another about adding events, whether it's on the town green, whether it's the sunset celebration, whether it's on Park Avenue. There could be multiple things that we do. We're currently speaking with the owner of the 801 Park Avenue. That was a lease that is expired, so we do need to renew the lease or consider purchasing. I had last year gotten a broker's opinion of cost on it, so we have a little bit of information on what that piece of property might be worth. So it's just something that I think the town needs to think about and consider as we move forward, whether we want to lease the space to be able to use, or if it's possible to actually purchase that piece of property if they don't have development plans currently. Then in the future, the CRA could sell it for development if that's what happens in the future. But for now, we could use it for activities. So activating it with nonprofits, with other businesses. You had a downtown movie night a couple months ago. You could have art installations. I don't know if any of you ever saw in downtown West Palm Beach, they've done several temporary installations. They had musical swings. They had, there's a lot of things that you can do to activate a space, whether it's on a permanent or temporary basis, that we can consider when we look at the town green. Also, the CRA has supported the Rust Market over the last couple of years, and this is a private event. I think one of the things that we can continue to do as the town and the CRA is support the private events. They're already doing something really good. They're bringing people to our downtown. We want to continue drawing people, continue helping with economic development of the businesses that are there, as well as bringing new businesses in. So it just supports our broader goal of small business development and long-term revitalization. Downtown movie night. This is what I would consider really more of a town event. This is a community event where the town would want to get the community downtown to have an evening on Park Avenue. Hopefully, go to some of the businesses before or after the movie. But it's been in discussions. We've been working with Reuniti and her team to see how we can work together to continue this event. And then since I've started, I've had a lot of discussions both from board members, commissioners, as well as the public about green market or farmers market downtown. I've done quite a bit of research lately on farmers markets, and although we are, as you all know, CRAs and our events, and I know I'm talking about events, we're limited in what we can do with events. But if something is explicitly stated in our CRA plan, and it relates back to the CRA plan for economic development and business growth, there is, and if there's only there's a short-term subsidy on it, there is again, some justification for how that builds the economy of downtown, and farmers markets do that a lot. In fact, one of the only events that towns can do that actually can make money are farmers markets, because you make dollars revenue off of the vendors. So if this is something that the board and the commission wishes to consider, what we would do is we would look at the model of a market manager. Somebody has to run the market. Typically what small towns do is we could go out for an RFP, hire an actual manager that you pay on a monthly basis, and they're responsible for all market operations, vendor recruitment, reporting, financial management, all of that. The CRA, if the subsidy was coming from the CRAs would get the revenues from the vendors. This person, again, would be a contracted manager to run a market. And there's multiple out there, there's several operators out there that's what they do, is they manage farmer markets. So in this kind of a model, again, the CRA would provide some financial support and subsidies for this manager, some of that marketing support along with it, economic development support to include the businesses. Obviously, we want to include our businesses downtown as much as possible. And then we also have to look at the public works side, which is road closures, permitting, all of the regulatory end of it. So there's things to consider, and there are obviously some costs that go into this. But in looking again at what a financial breakdown could be, is if you look at, on an expense side, somewhere between, I've put $65,000 to $100,000 annual for the marketing manager, for road closures, for marketing, for other programming, which would mean music or other events that might go on during the market. And then the income side, which is what the vendors pay typically, which is anywhere between $40 and $50 a week is a typical market for a vendor. So if you had 20 vendors, you're looking at $38,000 a year. If you had 40 vendors, obviously you can double that. So you can see how over time you can decrease your subsidy that you're actually putting into the market. Our goal as a CRA is recruit new businesses, support the businesses currently in our downtown, bring in new potential small businesses for the area. So again, this is as a redevelopment goal within downtown. So that just kind of is just an overview, and we can go back and talk about any of these that you have questions on. Another thing that we're working on is gateway signage. This would be, again, at major entrances to the town. There could be a mixture of standard gateway signs, LED, message boards, as we have downtown. We've talked a lot about over the years about North Lake and 10th Street is such an important gateway. US 1 in Silver Beach is, as well as Congress out at Water Tower is another area that, you want people coming into your town. So we're, again, looking into some companies, getting some pricing, putting together some packages for signage, and really kind of would turn into more of a wayfinding program, because we want some downtown. We want some message boards downtown as well. And then I just wanted to give you all kind of an update as where we are on branding. If you recall back, this was a year ago now, we approved in January 2025 a marketing plan for the CRA. And we have an outline of what we should be doing as a CRA to market the CRA. And one of the next steps was branding the downtown. And Our consultant had been working on this. I was in the process of hiring a new employee. I wanted that new employee to be involved in that branding process, so she's been involved, and we're looking at, again, you know, why branding matters to the downtown. We had a lot of discussions when we went through the marketing plan with the businesses on what they see as downtown and what they see the brand of downtown being, and how do we get people to know they're in Lake Park and know they're coming to Lake Park. So this is an ongoing process. We do have, if you can see here, let's see. So for the scope of work, sorry, just to back up a little bit, they're doing is to look at a logo, to look at a positioning strategy for downtown. And this really, downtown, when I say downtown, I mean Park Avenue from 7th to 10th, and really a little bit of 10th, so probably around the corner on 10th Street. But downtown, the core is really Park Avenue. So we'll have a visual identity system, so have banners, design elements that we use, as well as brand standards. So there'll be a consistent use. This is an additional logo to the town and CRA logo. It is, though, it will work complementary with all of them. So we've done the brand research and market analysis. We're now at the point where we want businesses, we have to go back to the business community and speak to them about the brand, about some of the options for logos that we came up with. A lot of things we heard, you know, we heard the theme of vintage, we heard the theme of art, we've heard, you know, several themes where these designs kind of came into play. So we want to go to you all one-on-one for this survey. We'll have a package that you can, you know, that you can look at and kind of place a vote or tell us your thoughts on it. And then ultimately it's brought back to this board for approval so we could start using it downtown, again, banners, other materials for downtown Lake Park. So this is to, again, increase awareness, strengthen our marketing position, and create a consistent visual identity for downtown. So that's where we are in that process, and I'm happy to go back and talk about anything specifically you'd like to discuss.
All right, thank you. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and start myself. The gateway signage, I really like that idea. Of course, I work downtown West Palm Beach with the government, with the county government, and they've put signs not similar to these, but more along the corners and the sidewalks where they're smaller signs, but they do tell you a lot of detail, and they've put multiple. Not to say that we need to replicate what they did, but we need to do our own version of it. My question would be more towards, okay, we put our signs for our events, our stuff, our notifications. How would the businesses play a role in them getting their information on their signs for specific exclusive events to them? Or can that be done?
I would assume you could program something in where there was I don't know, I haven't quite thought through what the businesses would be advertising on the signs. I would say they would, I mean, if you have any ideas, Rich, on this, I don't know that I've gotten to that point yet.
I'm just thinking that more in terms of if it's something that would require them to be, that would require a process for them to be included in this. Would there be a cost to it? Would there be, I know I'm kind of jumping the gun on it. I really, really am interested in the signage. I think aesthetically that would be good for the town. But I'm just curious as to your thoughts on that with the businesses.
Yep. Anything that we do, obviously, we have to give the same opportunity to all businesses. So whether it's a program that we offer to the businesses as a pro bono program, or if there's a fee related to, they could place an ad, almost like placing an ad on a sign. As long as they all have the exact same opportunity to participate in it, I think we could come up with a program to involve the businesses.
Okay. Did you want to add something, Town Manager?
Well, I would say that our recommendation probably would be initially that, the signs be utilized for, our events, our purposes, emergency activities, things like that. If we were to do anything, we would, I'd imagine we'd come up with a schedule of advertising costs, things like that, as Allison was mentioning. The concern is how many flips do you have?
Correct.
You know, so if you had 10 businesses, but you only had 6 flips, what do you do with the other 4 businesses that wanted to do something? So, you know, you have to make sure that it's worth their while. And that's why you, even on the big signs, you know, that you see on the highway, there's only so many flips.
Yeah.
Because so it'd be something that, you know, initially I'd probably recommend to you guys, let's keep it, you know, for our purposes, unless we were partnering with the local business and doing that. But if there was direction to do something, we can certainly look into it. But I think these are critical for us to really start announcing that we're here, you know, and that there's a viable opportunity for people to come to events, but, you know, more importantly, a viable opportunity for people to invest and start a business and create jobs here in our community.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, you know, when we did the signs in West Palm Beach that you're speaking of, the CRA was involved in that. And the reason the CRA was involved, if you notice all those signs point to CRA districts. So
Correct.
they point to
Correct.
downtown, they point to Northwood Village. That's where that's where most of the signage, obviously there's other locations, but you know, for the CRA to be involved, there were signs outside of the CRA, but we were making sure we were taking people to those places that, you know, that are.
Absolutely. I really do like them. I think they speak to what they're trying to do down there. So anything we can do to progress that forward, I'd be very supportive of that. Going on to the downtown movie night. I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question? So is that something that you guys would be okay with us going in advance of the end of the budget or before the end of the budget so we can start this process, maybe coming to you guys amending the budget this fiscal year on the CRA side? Or
Something I would entertain you seeing what you guys come up with so that way we can make that decision.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we'll have to probably go out to bid on those things unless we'd probably have to go out.
Commissioner Linden?
Thank you, Mayor. I like the sign idea. I agree it would make it extremely special. Where would we put them, though?
Well, that's something we'd have to negotiate with probably some private property owners and get some easements. But the general idea is one on Congress, one out by North Lake, one in the downtown area, one out somewhere on the south side of the town, you know, maybe 10th and Silver Beach, somewhere if that's necessary, and then one on Federal. If there are other
I would
ideas
say
too,
right by Kelsey, right in front of Kelsey Park.
maybe somewhere there.
I mean, I know Randy puts the signs there for events that goes on, but on that street, it's
They're parked.
cars are
Yeah, it brings people right.
just flying through. They don't have enough time to go like this and see if the light's green.
And when they program these types of signs, you know, some may include the LED, some may not. You know, you can have a different program depending on the location and what makes sense for the location. I think the real goal is how do we get people knowing they're in Lake Park and to downtown. So that's.
And then I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Where in it? I don't know if I totally agree with a half a dozen signs throughout the town. We're trying to push the downtown area, the PADD and so forth. And we've got an awkward situation because Park Avenue will grow and then 10th is going to start to grow. So we're right at that corner. And if we put too much, we need one good sign so people see it. And if I remember some statistics a while back, the number of people that drive down 10th is quite amazing. So we'd have to do a survey. But I would support a sign, at least open it up for a discussion, but I need a lot more information, nothing we could do within the next 5
something
minutes.
they can
Yeah.
But I think that's a great idea. And if you go back and look at the historic sign, the nostalgic part of it, when if you wanted to go down to Miami Beach or something, you had to drive through Lake Park. So while that's slowly dying out, we could revamp that to make it explosive and look good, so.
With regards to something like you're talking about, just so you guys have a heads up, and I think this came after we prepared the presentation, but there's a grant opportunity that we're pursuing with, and Nadia, maybe you can jump in real quick. But there's an opportunity to work with planners that can help to plan and design areas of our community. And we were looking at possibly 10th and Silver Beach. We know Silver Beach needs to be redeveloped, and we need to work with the county. We've already reached out to them generally. I've spoken to the manager in Riviera. He's very interested in doing something. And if we can do something on the grant side to have that funding and the actual planning side done, that would be helpful to identify locations of where signs would go, these other kinds of signs. But Nadia, can you kind of talk about what that, if we were to obtain that grant, just generally how that works real quick?
Yes, I can. I know we're still working through some of the details, and I know Merrill's been instrumental in reaching out to the APA for additional criteria information. It's an APA pro bono grant. It's the first time we've ever seen it available. And what they do is they bring in experts in planning, in redevelopment, and they bring them in to facilitate different types of redevelopment ideas and initiatives that municipalities may have. So when we discussed that internally, it was somewhat decided, and we're still kind of trying to solidify the plan to possibly focus on the 10th Street and the Silver Beach corridors. Because, of course, you know, we've done US 1, we've done the PADD, we've done the C3, and the idea was to kind of bridge the gap, especially on 10th Street, and then as well understanding that we have both a streetscape and a residential component on Silver Beach that needs to be addressed. The idea was to kind of connect those two corridors. Again, we're still working through the details. We haven't put the grant application together yet. That is still in discussion. But the idea is to hopefully initiate some of the visioning component, the outreach component that would allow, if awarded, the APA to bring in some experts and help us with that visioning and that outreach initial phase of that initiative.
Thanks, Nadia.
You're welcome.
So there's a lot that we need to look at to get people to come into the downtown. If our downtown, as you guys know, was on North Lake, we would never have a problem probably filling up any of those spaces. It's how do we get them off of North Lake? How do we get them off of Congress? How do we get them off of Federal? Those are the big main roads around our community, right? Silver Beach to a degree, but how do we get them off Blue Heron maybe? But that's still a distance away. How do we get them off and get them to turn on Park? And that's what we're trying to focus on with a lot of these ideas that you're seeing tonight. And that's our hope going forward.
Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you.
Board Member O'Rourke. Excuse me.
Right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, you could get people to the downtown area if you built projects down there for residents to live in. That's all.
Board Member Thomas.
Hi, Allison.
Hello.
I want us to hurry and get out of here tonight. So I'm going to ask you, the signage that we're looking at, or you're considering, this would be to direct them to the CRA area?
I think there would likely be different types of signs. There's gateway signs that say you're in the town of Lake Park.
Right.
That could include an information board. It could include information on it. There are wayfinding signs that say, get to downtown this way. And we do have a couple throughout the town. They're fairly small, but there are some wayfinding signs. Then there's pedestrian level signs. When you're in downtown, what are you going to do? So I think, again, and these companies and as the town manager mentioned, I've been looking into, any state contracts that they may have out there. Will likely have to go to bid and find a company that's what they specialize in and usually with that, they'll give you the program. Here's the types of signs we can do, and here's the locations that they might be most beneficial. Obviously, it would come back to you for approval, but they'll go through that process.
Yeah, because I was like thinking, the way we spend CRA dollars is very restrictive. And so when I look at Congress Avenue, it's not part of our CRA. So looking for wayfarer signs to, direct there is a concern. So then I thought to myself, well, could we have digital reader boards when we have activities that are being planned for it? One, it's not permanent signs, but it does direct some traffic that's going to be to the areas that are having some improvements. The thing is that for most CRAs, they're in a concentrated area. Ours tend to be linear, and it has, various areas that we're considering. However, when we talk about marketing, because I'm thinking about marketing in the sense and how do we allow for businesses that are in that CRA, and what restrictions are on that as it relates to a CRA. We have newsletters for the CRA, yes?
We hopefully will soon.
Because I thought that's also a way that businesses could contribute.
Right.
Whereby they could sponsor or buy an ad or, something of that nature. Because I know that there are some restrictions on how we spend money. And I don't know if the marketing in that manner is a restriction for, hey, can we do that? And if not, if we have quarterly newsletters where businesses in there could in fact contribute to it, it certainly is an opportunity to, one, get the businesses' information out there, but also help to offset some of the costs that's associated with marketing the area, our CRA area. That's it as far as my comments.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback a little bit off marketing, because we can have all the signs we want. We got to have places to put them, and we have to be able to market down in that CRA area. But marketing, I go by a couple of different businesses, and they talk about, foot traffic. I've been in Lake Park quite a while, even when they had a little piece of box. We used to box up and hang the door hangers up. I don't get one coupon or anything to market. I'm starving right now, and I'm trying to think where I can go down and eat. I don't get one market or know anything from the downtown area. And it's not just on the CRA. It's not. I mean, I'm pretty okay in business. I got a degree in it, but in marketing. So they should, if there's some way you can come up with an initiative or a plan with them too to help market itself, because I don't even know a special, and I live a street over, a special that they even run that will help me out, even get me a full belly or a nice cold drink or anything. Nothing. Don't hear anything from them. So if it's something that it can come up, maybe they can team up with you or whoever. Maybe I'm pretty sure I speak for a lot of residents when they say we get absolutely zero from anything from them to know a sale or a discount is going on.
About the chamber, have you had any discussions with them about kind of interactions with our business area?
Well, yes, we have. We have had discussions with the chamber, and the chamber is an organization that if a business isn't paid to belong to the chamber, there's not much assistance they're going to provide to that business. But this is an ongoing problem. This is not a Lake Park issue. This is a small business issue, and every CRA I've worked in is developing programs to try and teach businesses how to market themselves, how to keep them going, how to help. Because we work in areas that are waiting for development to happen. That's the nature of a CRA. A lot of the times is it's an area that's up and coming. So trying to teach those businesses, and I think we always used to obviously say that you try and teach them how to fish, and they got to be willing to hold the pole.
Absolutely. I would give them a call. I think last time I spoke with them, I think they hired a person recently specific to work in Riviera Beach here, as well as West Palm.
Yeah, it's been a while since I talked to them, so I'll reach back out to them again.
Yeah,
sure.
I've spoke to them probably within the last week or so. So, and then the movie nights you're going to be doing quarterly, from what it sounds like, correct?
I don't know that there's been a plan established. I think it's, again, something that we have to discuss. Funding from the town, budgeting, and
your slide that said it.
it did. I said perhaps quarterly or monthly. I don't think that there's a program that's been set. I know that it's something we want to do and would like to continue. We kind of have to figure out the town green lease, and so there's a couple things that have to be done before, but we're working on that.
I got you. Vice Chair.
I swear to be quick. I just got a question actually for you. You say there's maybe some kind of form of marketing that you could probably like give out to the business, like maybe, I don't know, if a virtual video or create something. What if maybe, I know we can't probably do it this time, but maybe next time before we give out any funding to help by business, we kind of make it a little mandatory for them to go through like a marketing class or a marketing setup or something to teach them how, like, we just can't depend on the CRA to do everything for us. We actually have to go out and market our business to show them how to market.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yep. Any other comments for Allison or questions for Allison? Board Member Linden.
What are you looking for with this?
Oh. Okay, Board Member Thomas. You want to take a second? Okay, Board Member Linden, go ahead.
Okay. Going back to the presentation, you talked about the green of the property there. Would that be purchased or leased by the CRA?
See the mic on?
It could be either. I think that we're still exploring the options of whether that's a purchase or a lease of the property. So there's, if there is funding, if the CRA within the next certain timeline issues a bond, we could use it for acquisition of that piece of property. So there's different options that I think the board can consider when we look at that piece of property. We know that it's underutilized. We believe we can activate it. So how do we make sure that we have, a control of the property to be able to do the things that we could do on that property?
We've been in negotiations with them.
We have discussed the lease, and he has put a price to what a lease would look like. I think we want to explore all of the options before we make a decision on, oh yes, there's a meeting. There's a meeting that we're having internally about, it's with Mr. Spiegel? Okay.
Commissioner.
Having a meeting tomorrow with Mr. Spiegel, so.
Our recommendation probably initially, would be, it's probably pretty important for us to have a space like that, to where we can do a lot of these events. We talked earlier about, rental of a piece of equipment. It's kind of the same idea. Is it really more in our best interest for the long-term viability of our downtown to have a space that we can use whenever we want without, having to deal with the contract? And so, probably sitting here, doing this for a long time, it'd be really nice to own that property.
Well, the CRA is a little bit more flexible money than the town and the residents do. All right? So, and the income to that is a little different than what ad valorem taxes bring. So, all right, well, I'd really like to hear more about that at a different time. I'm not sure to hire a market manager, all right? Because you talked about the farmer's market and so forth, and I disagree with your numbers because I don't know of a farmer's market outdoor that runs year-round. Everybody runs, not even the Rust Market runs year-round. Pardon me?
Palm Beach Gardens runs it year-round.
But she's choking, so
Yeah, Palm Beach Gardens runs it year-round.
So I like the concept of the farmer's market. They're growing up more and more in the little communities. So maybe the timing's good for us. But in that, expense of that, decreasing subsidies as market grows. What did you mean by that?
So as the market grows and you get more vendors, if you start with 20 vendors and you make, your income, let's say it's 48 weeks a year, you're correct. I mean, with weather and everything, it may not be 48 weeks a year. This is just used as an example. It would be $38,400 back to the CRA. If you got 40 vendors, you double that, those revenues. So as you gain more vendors and you become more popular, your subsidies that you're paying to a market manager and for any other kind of marketing or programming would decrease over time.
Yeah, we need to take a hard, long look at that, because when I see road closures, the last time we were down there with the event of reading for the record, we had people, business owners, literally coming up and complaining about the road closure. Right? And we need to have a plan for that. And how do we get the businesses involved in this? There's a lot of loose ends.
Yeah. Oh, there are, certainly. This is not, I would say this is a plan that's fleshed out. I want to communicate what's happening and what we're working on in the CRA, because if there's something that we're going in a direction that the board's going to say, no, why are we working on this? And this isn't the direction we need to go. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it. But both the gateway signage and the farmers markets are in very early research stages. How do we get to that place? Is this something that the town needs? Is this something that the board wants? And so this was meant really just to be an update on these are the things that we're talking about and looking into right now.
And my last question, where would this be held at, the farmers market?
Likely, it would be on Park Avenue from 7th to 9th Street would be the likely ideal location. Now, if we have access to the town green, it could be, although that doesn't create as much foot activity in front of the businesses, which is what the CRA is looking to do. We've spoken to the Rust Market as well, if it happens to be a Saturday market. He's welcome to have more activity as long as we coordinate appropriately. So, again, the logistics, you're correct, Commissioner, that there's a lot of logistics to work out. But those are the discussions we've had so far. And we did make sure to reach out. We don't want to step on people that are doing private events and bringing people to our downtown. We want to enhance it.
All right, because it also has to include a discussion with the owner of the property if we're going to do that, where the Rust Market is. I don't know what Jesse pays now, but it's not fair to the owner of the property not to give him something for using his property. So that's another factor in here that I didn't see.
Well, we're not using his property. We wouldn't be using his property. We would use the street.
The intent, she was looking to use the right-of-way.
The right-of-way.
Park Avenue itself, from 7th to 9th. That's what. As a possibility.
Yeah, if you use the right-of-way, good point, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. And then, where your vendors would be lined up, now we absolutely have to close that street off from end to end. So I'm looking forward, I got a ton of questions, but I'm looking forward to a discussion on this before we move too far on this, because it could be great. I like the idea, but it could also be a big spiral hole that we get ourselves into.
Understood.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
What we might be able to do is do a site visit to a couple green markets.
Yeah, there's one in
That might be a good idea.
West
to kind of
Palm.
see.
You got Gardens.
Delray.
Tequesta had one, but they're no longer. And Delray does have one as well. So I'd encourage you guys to, or we can all go together as a group, as a body.
We'd have to notice that.
Correct. Absolutely. Any other questions from Ms. Justice? Board
Yeah.
Member Thomas.
What were you looking for from us tonight? Is it just informational?
Just informational.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you kind of given some direction along the way of, things we need to, maybe move quicker on and things we need to flush out a little bit more, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, the events that we had downtown, especially like Movies on the Green, there's a difference in as far as the type of business that you're looking for in that case. Because when I bring myself down and I'm looking for Movies on the Green, it's more family oriented. They're not looking for the family to take their kids to the restaurant or the bar, that's on Park Avenue. And so I think there has to be a relationship when we talk about doing something on Park Avenue. The businesses truly need to come out, to the residents, because they're really making that concentrated effort to be there. And so it's easier to have the vendor from that restaurant to come and meet us halfway. And when I say meet us, I mean the community, because the community was there waiting for them to come because they were present, but the businesses didn't.
Yeah, I agree, wholeheartedly with that. And they were invited, and they always are. So by the way, when we do any type of it, we always invite the businesses. We'll give them a tent, a table. Give us your materials. How can we promote you? Give us coupons. Give us,
Because I wouldn't necessarily say that I would bring a 10-year-old to a brewery, and that's not just but
Understood.
we do have a lot of that's in our community, right? So we say to ourselves, am I looking to do that? Or would I be more interested in maybe what kind of activities they have to bring to the family? And we have to understand, too, really what it is that we are looking for our community. Are we looking for a family-oriented type businesses when we have our children that's out there? Or are we looking for, a party event? And I think that's probably one of the concerns, too, where one of the businesses didn't really make it, because I think it was a matter of really who are they marketing to, or what is it they're marketing for, So I think we're in a quagmire when we look at the community of Lake Park. Many of us, we work, and we come home, and off to bed we go, right? But the idea is that if you had something that was on a quarterly, basis that was down there that could actually draw the family out, and they're out and about as opposed to in another building, it does a lot for the community, because they do want to interact, but they don't necessarily want to interact in a structure. So, that's just my thoughts.
Okay.
I just want to say you're 100% correct, but Texas Roadhouse does come out with their peanuts at every event. And everybody know about them. They give out coupons, and that's probably where I'm going to go tonight.
That's
Thank
right.
you for reminding me.
And that is, again, as you know, they're a company that markets themselves. We've had a lot of participation from Oceana Coffee as well. They come out and they participate. Yeah. So, it's a work in progress to get the others, and we really are trying to work hard to get them involved. So.
Okay. And all right, we're good. Thank you, Ms. Justice, for that presentation. All right, next we have public comment. I have no public comment card, so I will move on to consent. If there are any modifications made that need to be made to consent, please say so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion. Make sure the mic's on, please.
Motion to approve consent.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, hold on. But we already made a motion and a second.
Approve the second.
Make sure your microphone's on.
Oh, he's got it between his mouth.
Thank you. No, that's, I mean. Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. We are on consent. There was a motion. There was a second. And there was no more discussion, so I'm just going to say all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Okay.
Mayor, because as we talk about Robert's Rule, this is the thing that concerns me. We had an approval for the agenda. We had an approval to pull whatever items that we wanted like to pull at that time. And then we had an approval for the consent agenda. So if I'm understanding this right, the time to have made a change to the agenda or to pull an agenda item, and please, town attorney, it would have been the time when we reviewed this and said, here, if everybody in approval of the agenda, if you're not in approval of the agenda, pull the particular item so that we can move forward with it. I just need to understand.
Well, I'm not sure you've been doing this correctly, but approval of the agenda is to approve what's on this agenda.
Yes.
Correct.
Whether it's consent or regular. The time to pull consent items is when the mayor brings up the consent agenda, and then somebody, if they'd like to pull, either a member of the public or somebody on the dais wants to pull that item, they pull that item, and after you vote on the consent agenda, then that item gets taken up.
Also, to add, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, with the approval of the agenda, if we wanted to reorganize the agenda itself, we can do it at that time on the approval of the agenda.
Which we did on the earlier meeting.
Which we did earlier.
I think that's a separate motion, but yes, you can
Correct.
reorganize your agenda.
And if I may, Robert's Rules of Order are not law. They're suggestions,
Correct.
okay? So, you know, you can get technical if you like, and,
Yeah, well,
you know, the objective is to get to the end. And we're almost there.
Absolutely. All right, moving forward. Okay, we've already voted on consent. Next, we have new business. Item number 6, discussion on 754 Park Avenue project update with Mr. Michael Rom, property owner. Nadia, please continue.
Good evening. I will be brief. I did provide an extensive timeline in the agenda item. I can certainly answer any questions that the board may have in regards to that item, the timeline. The most recent update on the project is we did have a special magistrate hearing where the property owner did request the magistrate to look at the most recent stipulation on the property. And when that review was done and the discussion took place, there was a decision, and I think this circulated as well, there was a decision by the magistrate to start the new fines as of February 1st of this year because the property owner had already paid 2 fine amounts that covered the entire period prior to February 1st of this year for not having completed the building. So there is, of course, a lien on the property at this point, and there are fines that are accruing as of February 1st through the completion date. So the next question is, when will the completion date be? The property owner has indicated that it will probably take another 2 to 3 months to complete it. I know today they were working on the exterior parking lot. They were working on some landscaping. They still have quite a bit of inspection reports to submit to the building official for review, but the work is moving forward. And that is the latest update I have available.
Has a new deadline been established as to getting this done?
No, there is no new deadline that has been established.
Okay.
They're still on an active building permit.
And did Mr. Ram state why he did not want to attend this meeting?
Yes, he did circulate some correspondence, and in that correspondence to the town manager, he indicated that because he had already gone to the special magistrate, he didn't feel that he needed to come before the CRA board.
Could you please indicate to him that we would like him to be at this meeting? Because us here on the dais, as well as all the residents of Lake Park that drive by his building and have to deal with the fact that the timetable of it beginning, middle, and end has been exhausting. and that we require that he would please come out to at least give us the courtesy of giving us an understanding of where we are and why we're there?
Yes, and we will certainly relay that message.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Town manager.
Patty, just to confirm, what is the per day fine?
$150 a day.
Okay. Thank you, Executive Director. Any other comments?
Yeah, I wanted to know that it was $150 a day. I also want to say that because I saw an email that we were suggested, the town manager suggested that we go to foreclose on a building. As I recall, we did ask you what was our options, not that you suggested, what is our option to foreclose on the building. So I want to make that for the record.
Okay. And this is just a discussion item. Thank you. All right. Next, we have Resolution 270326, Facade and Exterior Improvement Grant Agreement with Mr. Oscar Caballero, Equinox Realty, Inc., Camilla Square LLC for 1249 10th Street in an amount not to exceed $100,000.
Thank you. This again is for the property at 1249 10th Street. I just have a couple slides here. Oscar's here tonight. If you have any questions for him. So I will show you the property. This is the plaza that is next to Oceana Coffee. That includes, he has several different businesses in there, a salon, there's an appliance store, there's a martial arts academy in there, and there's a couple vacant spaces there. They're improving the interior right now on some of the vacant spaces to do that work, to try to recruit a higher level of tenant in this property. These are pretty rough, but just to kind of point out what they're doing. Currently, if you pull into the property from 10th Street, the dumpsters are within sight along the back of the property towards the alleyway. There's a gap there in between the two buildings. That's where the dumpsters are currently housed. There's two walls that kind of separate, retaining walls that separate the parking lot. And what they're looking to do is to move the dumpsters to the location that you see on Magnolia Drive. That's where the dumpsters would be located with a dumpster enclosure. We have spoken to Public Works about this. They're happy with the location of the dumpsters. Add a monument sign for Camellia Square, as well as creating a plaza area and some mural and art at the back wall. So the visual when you're coming into the building would be a plaza area for their businesses, not dumpsters currently. There will be some facade painting, stucco repairs, as well as new requirements for business signage. And the business signage will come down the road. We do have grants for each of the businesses for signs. So those are small grants that we can do administratively to help businesses with new signage if that's a requirement of their property owner. So here's a couple kind of rough renderings. I don't know that they've finalized what the mural and the fountain will look like towards the back. They're still working on that. The monument sign will have the plaza name with some additional lighting. Dumpster enclosure, as you can see, will be up to code with, not visual from the street. And the bottom is just kind of an example of the type of sign, consistent signage that would be put onto the plaza facade once they made the upgrades. So where you see the tables and chairs, that's the area. They're going to put some pavers. Again, they're updating the interior as well to try and recruit a higher level of business within that plaza. So when we break down the costs, this is an 80-20 grant from the CRA, 80% paid by the CRA, 20% by the property owner. So you'll see the amount right now, the estimated cost is $117,358. 80% of that would be $93,887 approximately. Now, with costs, they may be well over that. So this is why the grant says a not to exceed $100,000. That's the grant due to the size of the plaza. It's two buildings, so it's really a $50,000 grant for both of the building. So that's a breakdown of the cost, and we're requesting not to exceed $100,000. Again, this is a reimbursable grant. The owner will have 2 years from the date of signing the contract agreement to complete the project. That's standard with our agreements, but they have 6 months to get a permit. So there's a timeline. It's 6 months to get a permit, and then to submit for a permit, and then there's some timelines to meet. But the whole project in itself is 24 months.
Okay. And
Any questions?
of course, we have protections in place, such as what you've already established.
We have protections in place for property owners. We do take liens, mortgages on this. We are second. A lot of these have financed, so there is security involved. There's personal guarantees from the property owners if they are to sell. So the covenant states that if they are to sell within 2 years after project completion, the money is returned to the CRA. In my experience, I have had property owners sell, but what they're selling for after they improve the property is, they're making it, so they then will repay the loan. I have had that happen. Now, typically, the owners keep the property for longer, but
And you stated lighting is a part of this?
Yes, there'll be monument sign lighting and...
Yeah, I know for a fact that that plaza is very dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's tenants in there that have expressed that.
Yeah.
So, any other questions? Okay.
I do.
Vice Chair.
All right, so we have 2 grants we're giving them. Do we know in that plaza what besides what's inside the plaza?
I will have... do you want to come up and...
Let's have the owner come up.
Ms. Cavallero?
Only reason I'm stating that is because I'm going back to my other thing. Like, we live in this town, and we don't, unless we drive around, we don't know. We don't know. There's no marketing from the business side.
I'll tell you what, it's worse than that. Okay? I'm a realtor. I'm a licensed broker. And every day when they call my office, they say, oh, yeah, you mean Lake Worth, right? No, it's Lake Park. Talking about brand, what Allison was talking about. We have to do a much better job, guys, okay? They don't know who we are. People confuse Lake Park with Lake Worth all the time. They're calling to rent an apartment, and I say, okay, what time would you like to meet? Okay, we'll see you at 5 p.m. Well, where are you? Well, yeah, I'm here in Lake Worth. Okay, so to your point, yeah, it's about, can we get to the point where there's visibility, there's brand recognition. Do we put a dot on the map and we say, here is Lake Park, signage, gateways, all the stuff that Ellison was talking about earlier. Yeah, hey, welcome to Lake Park, so that no matter which direction you come from, you say, oh, okay, I am now aware that I am entering the city of Lake Park. And that doesn't happen, right?
And I get that. We really probably need to know where Lake Park, but I think my question is, what's in the plaza? I don't know what's in the plaza.
Today?
And I stay 2 streets over. Yeah.
Okay, so right now...
That's the art studio. The art studio that just opened.
In this plaza?
In this plaza,
Yes.
yeah. They're on the north end of the plaza.
Okay,
On
so the
north
art
end.
studio, and what else is in there?
They also have a karate studio. as
Karate, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, okay? They take 2 spaces. We've got the studio on 10th.
Yep.
Roger, you attended our ribbon cutting back a few months ago. We have a hair salon, Inspirational Hair Design. She has been there for many, many years. That's Lynette Battle. Myself, Equinox Realty, our brokerage property management company. And
Of the appliances, or that's gone?
appliances on the corner.
Yes.
Okay, and their lease just ended. And just to give you a quick update, Cedulous Gym that basically was located for many, many years, I believe, in Riviera. They are now relocating to Camilla Square.
Who is the gym?
Okay.
A gym.
Cedulous Gym, they are high performance. They train a lot of athletes, college level. So we're really excited. And then last but not least, there's going to be a chiropractor's wellness office that's going to be working in conjunction with the gym as well as the MMA, because of course you can imagine that there's a lot of synergism between, going to the gym, getting beat up, right? And then, just walking a few steps and getting an adjustment or a massage.
I'm gonna let you go on this one, but so what's the chairs for the sitting area? To watch the karate or?
To the right, that's the MMA gym.
No, the sitting area in the middle.
Right now, it's where the dumpsters are.
Yeah. No, like the design, like the umbrellas, like this for people just to hang out.
Right, so it's actually perfect because that's going to be sort of a lounge plaza area.
Like an atrium area.
Yeah,
so to speak, and that's literally as you're driving northbound 10th Street, that will be the thing that you will see. That's why the mural on the back that says Lake Park with a water fountain will have maximum visibility.
Right, I guess I was thinking like where can you? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess you grab something from Oceana Coffee and just come over and sit down, I assume. I didn't get the point of the sitting area, that's my point.
Allison?
I just think, I don't know.
I think from a CRA perspective, we like the plaza area because we do want to see more restaurants. We want to see upgraded spaces, and if you don't upgrade your space and make your building attractive to do that, which includes showing a space where you can have outdoor seating, you're not going to attract that type of business. So, these are the things we're trying to encourage. It starts sometimes, with the outside too, and showing them what it could be, but. I understand your point.
Yeah, and I like that because I know he's the property owner. It's the beautification, and I'm glad you're stepping out beautification. I actually, listen, when I was 12 years old, I lived on Magnolia right there, those apartments right next to those. So I've been there my majority of my life before I went on to Hawthorne.
Your wife came to see one of our places,
okay.
And she was thinking about renting. I think it was like about a year ago.
Okay. Oh, thank you. And so I'm glad. Beautification, but I'm just like trying to tie into the business world where it reflects the neighborhood. And I do like the karate thing because I'm thinking about putting my daughter in there too, so that's good. But no, I just wanted to reflect more of the town and actually we start moving on things and getting things done. But I do agree, making it beautified does gonna want to make more people to come in, but just hope the business owners think more about the neighborhood too. Driving, one of the things is we could drive people to Lake Park, which is a good thing, or we can get the people that's in Lake Park to go out to the businesses. That's another thing we could do too. So,
and this is when I talk about a work in progress for the CRA, and being here for a couple of years. It's these relationships. This wasn't something that this property owner had thought about at the time. It's establishing those relationships, then them understanding, hey, what's our goals in the CRA? What kind of businesses should we be trying to get in here as well? And how do we look at it a little bit differently? And I've worked with Oscar for the last year and a half, really trying to, discussing what our goals are, what his goals are, and how we can, again, translate that into new business.
So 6 months for a permit and then 24
6 months and then it's 18, so it's 24 total.
Total 24 total, okay.
3 years. 3 years.
2 years.
24 months.
3 years. I've been sitting on this commission now, and I've kind of like seen how it works.
I got you.
Oh,
3
right.
years.
I understand.
Okay. I am concerned when we talk about marketing, what it is supposed to be. One of the things that I enjoyed, are you done?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. One of the things that really brought to light was the fact that a few months ago, the art studio opened. And so the thought or the vision at the time was, oh, wow, now we have artists that are going to be here because directly across the street from there, of course, was some improvements that's being planned for antique vehicles.
Correct.
Okay? And then, of course, the Oceana project that's there. What I'm sort of like hearing right now, and no disrespect, is whoever I can get to come into this space is good. I've known that space for a very long time because where the art studio is now used to be a chartered school there for many, 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 many years. Okay, I don't have an issue in providing facade dollars, but look at Park Avenue, where we provided facade dollars, and we're still waiting for something like to get done. And so when I hit the streets, the comment that comes to me, why are we giving these people the money, and what are they bringing to our community? Because now they have to wait for such a long time, right? And if there is a plan for what we envision this area like to be, let's move forward with the plan. I was very confused too when I saw patio, chairs out there, because I'm like thinking, oh wow, there's going to be an eatery that's going to be there, and someplace maybe I can have a pizza or something of that nature. And yes, those funding dollars are there to assist business owners, but I wanted to assist business owners and to attract the right type of, and I don't have any control over who the tenant is, right? But we have to have a vision too, and that's the whole purpose of our CRA, right? To know what it is that we're attracting and what it is that we're bringing in. I'm still waiting for Kelsey City to finish what they need to do, right? And that's not the only one. Let's look across the street from that. It's been 4 years. I don't know, maybe not. It's been 4 years, right? From the time, well, let's say 2 years, 2.5 years, since Brooklyn Cupcakes have now moved out. Okay, and the improvements, I don't even think we got a CO yet on that project. You helped me out, Allison, right? And I am the first person that would say to you, yes, absolutely, give them the time extension, because that is who I am. But at the end of the day, what are we really getting, right? Has it really improved it, anymore? And I would say that I was just as tough with Oceana Coffee as it is with any other businesses that came in here, because our residents look at us and they say to us, why did you give them that money? Yep. That money could have been used, somewhere else and for, some other purpose. I'm just disappointed when I look at it, and I don't want it to appear as though the town of Lake Park give out free money, and then what do we get for it?
And I will just respectfully push back a little bit, because you've received your annual report today, and what you get from it is increased tax value, and that's what you have. That's what you have with Oceana. That's what you have. And sometimes it takes those dollars to get that in. And I do understand everybody's frustrated with the timelines. I don't know what we can or can't do besides not give them dollars then, when something isn't completed. But what it does do is it does spur long-term economic development for the CRA and for the town. And I do believe that's happening. I do believe that's happening through beautification, slower than we would all like it to happen, but that's what we're going for.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve Resolution 270326.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? And again, discussion on the dais and not out of the dais. Vice Chair.
I believe I'll go first. This has nothing to do with the property owners, but we literally, when you drive from work every day, and work's tough, we all know that, and then you see the downtown area, and you get out of your car, and neighbors meet you, or you walk, and the neighbors meet you, and they're like, you're giving up all this money. Where's the results? So I'm going to be honest with you, and I never try to voice as a negative. I'm disappointed. I really am. I'm disappointed. This has nothing to do with the property owner. I'm happy that he's one. I just talk about beautify. I'm going to vote to approve this resolution, but I'm totally disappointed in that area. That's the area that I live in. That's the area that when I go for walks, I see the area I pass through. Every time I see area that my neighbors, my community, when I see their face when they're looking, it's disappointing. It's very disappointing.
Before you say anything, because I already know where you're going, I will say again, when I was canvassing, one of the biggest concerns about our downtown is aesthetics. Mm-hmm. That is the number one singular statement that was made to me talking to people. We're either going to have to do it two ways, either with help or enforcement. Because and that's not a disrespect to you as an owner, but you are an owner. You take care of your building the way you do. But if you're looking to upgrade along with everybody else, you had a timeline to do so. And I think the owners should be made accountable in respects to their own properties and how aesthetically pleasing it should be. Now, I'm willing to help that, but at the same time, the owners got to come up with, got to come up and play the ball game as well. So for me, I am a little disappointed as well with the vice chair, but the solution is going to be an ongoing thing. So,
May I? Has there been any closures yet on any of the grants? Like any of the facade improvement grants? Have there been any completed closure? Like, you know, the project is now done, it's closed out, the extensions are done?
Saigon Market is complete. The windows and the facade, that is a completed project. Kelsey Market's under construction, and I think 796 is almost ready to close out. But of the grants I've given, but I've not been here, I've only been here for 2 years, so anything that I've given has not even met that 2-year threshold, so. But like I said, Saigon Market's the only other grant, along with Kelsey Market, that we've given since I've been here, and one's under construction and one's complete.
Okay, so I'm gonna say what I would like to see is the grants that we have given out for facade improvements. I'd like to see a breakdown of them, where we are, and the closure of them, because I almost feel is that I'm consistently approving something, and then 6 months later or within that time frame, they come back or nothing is done for another 9 months. And again, I'm not pointing the finger, right? I am just saying what I have had to endure, while I'm here. And there's another issue that I'm going to talk about when we get to that, but we do have property owners who are willing and came and presented themselves to us and says, here, I'm willing to purchase a property and I'm ready to move with it, right? And then we have had others who have come and requested the funding, we have provided the funding, and then there's been a delay, and there's then been a delay, and then there's been a delay, right? This is just what I see, and it does not look good nor sound good when you have your residents that are coming to you and says, okay, now, what are you doing with this? And so I'm therefore voicing the frustration that I hear from the residents because I'm out there listening to it.
Yeah, and Commissioner, I have provided the commission in weekly updates with an entire breakdown of every incentive that we've given and what the status of. So I'm happy to include it again, but that is an ongoing document that I keep and have shared with the board members. So.
Okay, so then I would just suggest that when we come here and we're making for these requests, then maybe that just be a part of that. That's all.
All right, just don't forget, discussions are here.
Well, she did mention.
I know, but we made a motion in a second.
Okay, I'm just saying though.
I know, but I have to keep stance on it. I'm just saying.
I'm done. I don't have anything.
No, I got you. Any other discussion?
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
All right.
Or nay, in my case.
Okay. Motion passes 4-1. Thank you. CRA administrator comments.
I don't believe I have any additional. The only additional comment is that The CRA administrator position has been noticed. We've gotten some resumes in. We had an interview today. We've had a couple interviews, and we'll continue to work through that process to hopefully find a replacement and another CRA administrator. So.
There is no replacement, Allison.
Yep. Echo that. Anything else?
So, but I have been involved in that process as well, and along with town manager and Debbie. So we're looking at the resumes.
That's it?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Executive Director.
Yeah, I wanted to request an incentive grant to have Allison move back.
I don't think you're going to get any of that spent. And I don't blame you.
No, we are, as Allison mentioned, we're actively, searching for a replacement. So we have someone here, full time. Allison, I've said this before, it's a big loss. I said it, I think, today in the interview. It's big shoes to fill. Appreciate all that you do and what you continue to do.
Did you just say doo-doo? I'm sorry.
It's too late for this.
Yeah, you did say doo-doo.
But you did.
You did.
You said doo-doo.
They're such boys.
What you do.
Say that with me here.
But I appreciate the opportunity tonight to just talk about some of the things that are being planned. We are looking at things a lot differently than maybe, we have. So there are some things outside the box. There are a lot of loose ends that we talked about that need to be cleaned up and shored up. But we're going to keep fighting to, bring, attention to our downtown. And that's our job. And that's what we're going to focus on doing. So thank you for all that you do and the support. And thank you to our staff. So that's what I got.
All right. Any board member comments?
What's the status on 800?
Oh, I apologize. I did have that in my update as well. The 800 building is accepting bids now. It closes on April 2nd, so next week. Our broker will be technically reviewing the bids, but we will have an internal committee to just make sure that they meet the qualifications. Probably bring back to you all as a board, if there's 2 or 3 that will give presentations on what their plans are for the building and go through that process. Ultimately, the CRA board will be the final selection on that purchase. Now, that would be a conversation, though, on who to negotiate with. Obviously, a contract would then have to be written and come back for approval as well, but it will be your decision on who is selected to negotiate with.
Okay. Chair. So we'll get the 3, and then we will select who to negotiate with.
Correct.
Is there an option if we decide not to
Yes,
sell?
absolutely. 100%. This is a fluid process, so.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay. Executive Director.
Yes, well, it will be as of after this was approved. The annual report will be on the website tomorrow.
Encourage our community to take a look at this. The book is really, really great, the annual report. Our staff worked real hard on it. There's a lot of great, success items in here and areas of growth and change in our downtown and the CRA area.
It is online.
And so I hope that our community really has a chance to look at it. Meryl, if we can maybe do a video or something and kind of push it, I appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
It is online.
Yes, it's online or will be tomorrow. And, one thing about that report, there's a lot of good information about property owners and the tax base. So, it gives you a real good snapshot of businesses and properties within the CRA. So.
No other comments? I will entertain a motion of adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Second.